Collins running out of real estate. Heads back upfield. 25 to the 30. The 35 to 40. The 45 to 50. He has only Kovalevsky to beat. Gets through him. The 10 and touchdown for Collins.
Garte looks to throw. He fires toward the goal line. And that is caught by Kadeem Wilson for a game-winning Gators touchdown.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move, a shot, and he scores!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the Profs will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
He sends one on goal, and he scores! Jonah Popre scores for the second time tonight. And it is a power play goal!
The pressure is there. Wilson putting it in the end zone. It is up for grabs. Did someone come down with it? No, incomplete. The Pharaohs are the 2022 EFA champions.
Live from the Sunny Werblin Recreation Center on the campus of Rutgers University, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2023 Metropolitan Conference Swimming and Diving Championship. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, once again joined by my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. And Nick, we have reached the fourth and final night of this 2023 Mets Championship. The Senior Walk is coming up next. We will have full coverage of that, and during that time, you and I will be silent. We will turn it over to our public address announcer, Bob, who's done a great job all weekend. He will introduce our seniors one by one as they get their moment of recognition, and for what many of them will be their final meet.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Well, now it's time to meet the seniors as they'll be walking around the pool in a few minutes here as their collegiate swimming careers come to an end. They'll get some recognition. Good amount of seniors here. They'll circle the pool. You'll see it on their camera. And if you are supporting a senior watching us at home, let us know. We'll give you a special shout out, and we'll also give that senior a special shout out. We love all the comments we've been getting throughout this weekend in the chat section.
We also have a lot more to look forward to this evening beyond the Senior Walk. First, of course, the 1,650-yard freestyle. That event will obviously take some time. It immediately follows the Senior Walk this evening. That's the first event on the program tonight. Following the 1650 free is the 200-yard backstroke, the 100-yard freestyle, the 200-yard breaststroke, the 200 butterfly. We have women's 3-meter diving on a separate stream once again. And of course, Nick, we want to remember we do have our diver introductions that will take place after the Senior Walk. So you have the Senior Walk, and you will have a special introduction of divers ahead of women's 3-meter diving. That, of course, takes place on the bulkhead in between pools, as we do have already an early shout-out.
Well, we got
Armand Hebert of USMMA. I'm not sure if that was a spelling error or not, though I see Hebert and thought maybe Herbert. I'll be corrected in the chat, I'm sure, by Christine, who wanted to issue a shout-out to Armand of USMMA. So in the chat, we already have our first shout-out of the night. Now, on our diving stream, the audio will be a bit lower from Nick and I. I'm positioned right behind our diving camera. However, that stream's audio is being picked up by our camera, so we may not come through too clearly on the diving camera. If you're looking for swimming in the main pool tonight, you're in the right place. On our main stream, we will have diving on a second stream. Following the Senior Walk, the camera that is currently operating on our diving stream will shift over to the diving boards, where diving will wrap up this evening with women's 3-meter diving, and it is indeed Hebert. So thank you, Christine, for correcting me there and confirming the last name of Armand, who will be diving tonight, assuming that is correct, as you do say that we want to recognize our diving careers as well. So I assume Armand is a diver. Again, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Christine. Swimming and diving tonight from the Sunny Werblin Rec Center main pool. I went through the events already. Diving will take place to our left at the diving boards. That is set to begin soon after the main meet begins. The finals for swimming in the pool, the main pool on the right side of the Sunny Werblin Rec Center, diving in the left pool on the opposite end of the rec center. So with just a couple of minutes ahead of the Senior Walk, Nick and I will step aside and take a quick break. When you hear audio on the stream, once again, it will be from our public address announcer, Bob, seated over at the stats desk poolside. He will be introducing all of our seniors one by one. Of course, the men wrapped up their diving last night. Thank you, Christine. We are aware of that. We did cover diving last night, but he will get introduced alongside the rest of the seniors. You can be sure of that. So Senior Walk coming up next here on the PDF Sports Network. Stay right here.
Competition pool is now closed. Let's get a few minutes to please clear the competition pool. Good athletes, please clear the competition pool. Thank you. At this point, I'd like everybody to please stand on their feet. We're going to do something special tonight for our seniors. And this will require some cooperation. I'm going to announce a name, and then we're going to have one clap for each student athlete. Let's practice that right now. The name Bob. The name Jude. Thank you. You're doing great. Hey, listen up. Scholarship, athleticism, community, family, and team. These are our seniors. They've been able to get through what we remember from a few years ago that happened in 2020, and they're still your teammate, they're still your family, they're still serving your community, they're still matriculating through their colleges, and they're still participating in athletics. Phenomenal. I know you appreciate that. From Baruch, Gary Danilin, Jillian Quinn, the College of Staten Island, Melissa Hogue-Ely, Thomas Smith, Jason Turcia, from Hunter College, Sarah Decker, Shara Greenwood. From Montclair State University, Gianna Antonelli, Stephen Barnard, Aaron Barrett, Juliette DiPasquale, Tyler Dorsett, Christian Molisian. From Mount St. Mary College, Kristen Dwight, Emily Gursky, Joe Tagliarini, from Montclair State, Emma Bowers, Ramapo College of New Jersey, Caitlin Valasagan, Amy Butcher, Emily Ika, Emil Ika, Jeffrey Horn, Katie Riva, Michael Sue, Roberts Wesleyan University, Mandy Charleston, Katie Perry, Dave Rivers, from Rowan, Lindsay K, Matt DiGennaro, Rocco Evangelista, Robert Gagnon, Jordan McChesney, Maria McMahon, and Joe Rucci. From Salisbury University, Carly Chansey, Jordan DeGrucci, Mitchell McGee, Layla Tiberio. From Sarah Lawrence College, Catherine McCain. From SUNY Maritime College, Alexander Burrows, Maeve Lombery, Marilyn Peterson, Brian Riley, Stephen Rowe. From the College of New Jersey, Jamie Bound, Cameron Carrazza, Faith Courtwright, Rachel Hanna, Shannon Heath, Conrad Hoodie, Chloe Howard, Alexander Johnson, Dixon Kaler, Sean Ray, Patrick Sullivan, Gabby Valadares, Matt Watts, Thomas Zedroit. From the United States Merchant Marine Academy, Charlotte Brockman, Blake Brown, Davis Caldwell, Kayleen Smolinski, Emma Kate Clarkson, Hannah Grant, Armand Hebert, Roxy Metlashewski, David McVeigh, Jack Pellegrino, Will Schneider, Abigail Thomas, and Doug Wright. From the University of Mary, Washington, Alex Ung, Talia Costanza, Aiden D, Kai Green, Brendan Huber Whitmer, Julia May, Katie Posovic, Caleb Schmeitena, Luke Strickler, Jenny Thompson, Stephen Wallach, Ellis Winfrey, and from William Patterson University, Emily Murphy, Jillian Sturris. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Metropolitan Collegiate Championship Senior. Congratulations, seniors, once again. Scholarship, athleticism, community, family, and team, right? That's what it's all about. Go get them in your next steps in your life. Congratulations to our seniors. At this time, everybody. Please remain standing, and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor our country and those that serve to protect it. Natalie Kovacs, if you were here the other night, you heard her. She's back. Sophomore from Marymount College will sing our national anthem.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
welcome aboard to the bulkhead. Little Foxy Crew. Women's 3-meter divers, your finalists. Diving first will be Emma DeCon, freshman from Roberts Wesleyan. Your second diver, Emma Bowers from Buckeye State. She's a senior, diving third from SUNY Maritime College, Jessica McGee. Diving fourth from the Merchant Marine Academy, United States Merchant Marine Academy, the junior, Christine Brown. Diving fifth, sophomore from the College of Staten Island, Jordan Swanson. Diving sixth, the United States Merchant Marine Academy, a junior, Laney Ingwerson. Diving seventh, freshman from the College of New Jersey, Beth Evolving. Tonight, conference champion 3-meter last year, conference champion in the 1-meter in 2022 and 23. From the College of New Jersey, senior Debbie Valadares. Placed second in the 500 to Academy record holder in the 500,000 at 1650 from the United States Merchant Marine Academy, Deirdre McCaffrey.
And we are back here on the PDF Sports Network. Joe Foreman and Nick Durst joining you from the Sunny Werblin Recreation Center on the campus of Rutgers University. We hope everyone enjoyed our coverage of the senior walk, all of the swimmers and divers who will be graduating following the conclusion of this season were recognized and received their due ahead of tonight's meet. We also got to meet our women's 3-meter diving finalists. If you're tuned in to our stream of the main pool and you want to see diving, head over to our second stream as 3-meter diving will be getting underway there shortly. It looks like they're already about to get underway at the other end of the Sunny Werblin Rec Center. So tune over to the diving stream if you're looking for diving. If you're looking for the main pool, you're in the right place. The finalists are being introduced in the women's 1650 free. And with those starting introductions, taking place over public address now. I'll share those participants with you. In lane 1, representing Rowan, Jillian Walls. In lane 2, representing the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, Deidre McCafferty. In lane 3, representing Ramapo, Alazne Sadupe. In lane 4, representing Rowan University, Emma Padros. In lane 5, representing Salisbury, Leah Goody. In lane 6, representing Montclair State, Julie Tiedemann. In lane 7, representing TCNJ, Sarah Burton. And in lane 8, also representing Rowan, Miley Kleinditz.
Well, Joe, let's look at some cut times for this event. This is a very long race. The A standard cut time is 16:31, and the B standard is 17:20, and that is the NCAA Division II cut times.
This heat in the women's 1650 free is our 5th heat of the day in this event. Earlier today, we had a midday session where there were 4 women's heats in the 1650 free and 3 men's heats. So as you see on the scoreboard on the top left of your screen, this is heat number 5 in the women's 1650 free. You have not missed anything. There were 4 heats earlier today. If you want to check those out, we do have a second stream where those heats were aired earlier today.
Well, Joe, I think Emma Padros is the heavy favorite in this one. Her seed time was 18:06.06, and the nearest, closest competitors to her, obviously lanes 3 and 4, but those are both at 18:08. So the 2 seconds there is going to be a lot to make up time-wise here if anybody competition-wise wants to defeat Padros here at this event.
For those a bit less familiar with this event, 66 passes to one end of the pool and back. So we will be here for quite some time. Now, Nick, last year when we called this same event, we had several special guests. We are without special guests here tonight, so we need some help.
We did have somebody who came to us 2 days ago asking if he could join the broadcast. So if he is watching, come on up.
We do have a third headset out in the car.
Ready to speak to you.
We could send Pat to go get it, if necessary. Though I think he'd welcome.
Pat's giving his thumbs up. He's ready to go. He's ready to go cool off outside.
Exactly. He would welcome a step out to the air conditioning for a few minutes.
So not really that much for us to discuss right now. Padros, 32:03 right now, and her time. She's going to take her time right now in lane 2. Deidre McCafferty surging ahead slightly here, but this is truly a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to be here for 18 minutes before we decide a winner in this one.
Well, Nick, if you do remember back to last year, McCafferty started very strong in the same event to open up day 4 of the Mets Championship, assuming the events were held in the same order. And she got off to a very strong start, built a sizable lead, but ended up falling, I believe, to 4th or 5th in last year's event. So like you said, Nick, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We'll see how much more endurance she's built since last year, because she's off to another nice start here tonight.
Everyone, of course, wondering how the schools will finish overall here to see who is going to be the champion. I believe it's going to be for the men's between TCNJ and Rowan. On the women's side, Joe, I believe the University of Mary Washington, perhaps one of the favorites going into today.
I was just taking a look down at our live chat. Wanted to make sure we delivered those senior shout-outs as promised. We have a shout-out to Emily of William Patterson, from Casey, Haley, Julie, Mom, and Dad. Emma Bowers gets a shout-out as well. And a shout-out to all of Montclair State University, their swimmers and divers, from Susan. Those are just a couple of the shout-outs in our stream chat. I'm sure we'll get more of those throughout the evening. And thank you to everyone in the chat who has offered us positive words of encouragement all weekend as well. Swimmers and divers are the stars of the show. We're happy to bring it to you here on the PDF Sports Network. It's the first time we've covered swimming and diving here on the network, so that was very exciting for us. Of course, we covered this event last year for CSI Sportsnet, but We're proud to bring swimming and diving to the PDF Sports Network and expose it to an audience that may not be as familiar with the sports as some of the other major sports that we've covered so far.
Well, we are appreciating all the views, getting massive viewership numbers, and obviously we cannot do that without all of you at home. So we appreciate you tuning in and spending the President's Day weekend with us here on YouTube. And it has been quite the weekend, and we saw the senior walk before. You know, Joe Rucci, one of the favorites of the chat, he walked out. Conrad Hoodie as well, and so many great seniors. Joe, we got a few minutes here, so why don't you speak a little about some of these seniors for the College of Style and Dolphins, who you actually know a little more so than some of the other seniors here.
Well, if you remember, Nick, last year, one of those seniors joined us on the broadcast.
Mike Sorensen.
Mike Sorensen was a senior last year. Jason Torchio, one of the seniors this year.
Right. So, interesting.
He was up here in the press box with us, calling this very event, and the conversation got into beard drag. Now, that doesn't apply to the women's 1650 free. So I don't think any of the participants in this event will have to worry about that, but perhaps that's a conversation to revisit during the men's heat.
His coach, Coach Mike Akalitis, down poolside right now. I don't know how he's doing it, Joe, but he's got on dress pants, a shirt and tie, and then a jacket over it. I don't know. I think it's too hot in here for all that.
He did it last year, too. We made the same comment last season. And I don't know how he's doing it either, but credit to him. He's a big part of this event.
Maybe next year we'll have a wireless mic. I can go down there and ask him during this event, Mike, how are you surviving these weather conditions indoors here with all that clothing on?
We really wanted our wireless mic to reach the public address desk, and then we'd bring in all of the introductions during the A finals of each event. We would have brought the senior walk directly from the public address desk, but our microphone just short on range in reaching Bob over there at the desk. So I think the audio came through pretty well over the broadcast. I don't think that was an issue. Was able to monitor the levels closely with you and I off of headset during the senior walk. So we're at the 33% mark in this heat, Nick. 22 of 66 laps completed.
Well, lots of events here this evening, so I'd anticipate we'll get a break at some point, perhaps after the 1650 freestyle, which is probably going to be an hour in total timing between the two heats, is my guess, but I'm not really sure. Last night we thought maybe we were going to get a break in the action, but just stay tuned here, and when there is that break in the action, you'll hear nothing. It'll be muted, and that's how you know that the competition is in a break.
Once again, in case you missed the very beginning of our broadcast, we'll run through the full slate of events tonight. 1650 free right now. Women in the pool to be followed by the men's heat immediately after. Then we have the 200-yard backstroke, 100-yard freestyle, 200-yard breaststroke, 200 butterfly, women's 3-meter diving, of course, on a separate stream, and the 400-yard freestyle relay will wrap things up. And this building last year erupted for that last event.
Right now, Joe, Deirdre McCafferty has a 3/4 of the pool length lead, but it's still early on here as we are nearing the halfway mark.
With that last touch by Alasne Serupe in lane 3, all of the swimmers have now entered their 29th pass from the touch pads to the wall. McCafferty a bit ahead of that pace right now. She's approaching the wall in lap 31.
McCafferty swam this in 18 minutes, 27 seconds, .45 in the prelims.
Nick mentioned the NCAA cut times for this event at the beginning. The record time in this event is 16:48:38, set back in 2017. Now, I'm not sure if the last name of the record holder is cut off, but Anagrazia Bonsant is what our meet sheet says. So that last name could potentially be cut off. So we do apologize if the last name's cut a bit short.
Right now, McCaffrey well ahead of everybody else. But as you mentioned, we did see this from her last year as well. She's heading back now to the touchpad, and just at this point.
The big thing to watch, Nick, is always those split times. In what direction are they moving? How much are they fluctuating? And we'll see.
Actually, it looks like she was past.
McCaffrey just touched now with a split time of 32:35.
So she fell back. So I think in lane 3, Sadupe is ahead. Hard to tell.
McCaffrey is, I believe, a lap ahead right now.
Well, let's see on this touch. We'll see.
Well, you can look at the end of the pool, Nick, at those placards with the lap on it and figure out where everyone stands. Sadupe is headed back toward the wall, past 37. McCaffrey on lap 39. So
McCaffrey's ahead.
Has about,
you can
I'd
see
say,
the
a
sign
40-yard
from here.
lead.
Very tough vantage point.
Eyesight
Now
and
as it
strength.
comes out of the pool, the eye strength's not an issue. It's the angle.
For me,
I see
hearing is the
39.
weakest of my senses.
There we go.
It's these headphones. But McCaffrey setting the pace right now. Remains well below 33 seconds on the split.
We'll see 8 more minutes here at least.
McCaffrey maintaining about 35 or 40-yard lead.
He was 11-3 last year.
Sadupe comes in just under 33 seconds split on that last touch. McCaffrey moving a bit closer to 33 seconds with her last touch.
Almost 2/3 of the way through. Trying to move up here in lane number 5 and be a good.
I'm stealing peeks at those placards with the laps, Nick. Like you said, the angle is tough.
McCaffrey is on 45, what I could see right now, because it's out of the pool and the holder is angling this way a bit.
Thirds of the way through.
In second right now is Sarah Burton out of lane 7. We had our attention focused toward lane 3, but I believe Burton is the closest competitor to McCaffrey right now, and Burton is swimming out of lanes. Oh, check that, lane 6, that's Julie Tiedemann. Once again, with the lane 8 obstructed, I've made that error no less than 4 or 5 times this weekend, and a big reason why is that last time we were here, there weren't as many spectators down poolside, but with how packed it is in the Sunny Werblin Rec Center, there are a lot more bodies obstructing lane 8 where you can't even see it from up here.
Lane 8 is on the 45th pass.
So Tiedemann is headed back toward the touchpad, and she's not that far behind McCaffrey now, only about 25 yards. Or check that, make it 12 and a half yards, not 25. A lot of numbers to crunch into 1653 in terms of yardage. Not far behind Tiedemann, swimming out of lane 4, Emma Padros.
Padros on 49 as well now.
A little less than a quarter of the way to go here.
McCafferty 32.87 split there. Padros 32.83. So I mentioned earlier Padros was the favorite here. She's certainly turning it on now here later in the race.
That's typically what we see in this event. The splits get obviously far lower later in the heat. And a lot of the time, it's lanes 4 and 5 that emerge with those strikingly low splits a bit earlier than some of the other competitors. But we'll see how it plays out. Still plenty of time. The majority of the swimmers right now on lap 53. Approaching the wall, some have already made their turn, heading back toward the touch pads. McCafferty still in front here.
McCafferty 33 flat there. Padros 32.81.
McCafferty's lead right now, right at about 12.5 yards, half the length of the pool. See where her split registers right here. She's still sub 33, Nick. She really hasn't slowed down much. The question is, how much will everyone else speed up?
Let's see how Padros has here. 32.85. So she's certainly picked the pace, Padros. But it's going to be tight to see here if anyone's going to catch McCafferty.
McCafferty stroke for stroke with Sadupe headed toward the touch pad, but Sadupe is 50 yards behind. McCafferty comes in sub 32.7 again. That's about where she's been for the entirety of this event. Padros at 32.61. I don't believe anyone else has beaten that during the previous 50.
Beating those 32s really bringing the top down this year.
McCafferty 32.54. She's speeding up a bit, Nick.
Still 2 minutes to go. But she's picking up the speed. 32.45 for Padros, so Padros faster on that split there, but still behind.
McCafferty's lead has grown. It was about half the length of the pool. It's more than that now. I'd say it's closer to 3/4 the length of the pool.
Looks like it's going to be McCafferty's to lose here. She's got a huge lead.
This effectively becomes a 100-yard race, and McCafferty has been spotted about, I'd say, 20 of those 100 yards. She reached the touch pad ahead of Padros again.
United States Merchant Marine Academy.
Can she keep it up?
Lane 2.
I don't think anyone's going to catch her, Joe.
Doesn't look that way, Nick.
It's a battle for second right now.
Final 25 coming up for McCafferty. You said it, Nick. It's hers to lose, and she's not going to lose it.
Redemption story for her. Had the big lead last year. Couldn't finish, but here she goes to the finish line.
Now, is it possible some of the other competitors thought that perhaps McCafferty may slow down a bit and didn't pace accordingly? It's a race for second, a close one, and Julie Tiedemann takes second. Emma Padros takes third.
Well, Joe, 17:44.55 for McCafferty. Her seed time was 18:27.45, so maybe she was playing possum a bit.
That's a good point, Nick, and I said it before. She started off so strong last year. Those splits got lower throughout the race, not higher. That was not the case last year, and as I said before, perhaps some of her competitors paced expecting her to slow down a bit towards the end, and she did not slow down at all.
And together for those Others on the women's side.
All the swimmers, great job. Such a long distance. You could see the exhaustion on their faces.
I could say, Nick, I certainly wouldn't make it very far.
How far do you think you could swim, Joe?
At a snail's pace, I'd say a decent amount, but I'm more of a power athlete than an endurance athlete. I lift heavy objects and put them down as my form of exercise. That's about it.
I would say really slow. I could probably do the 200 yard at a semi-competitive pace. 100 yard, I think I could do. Beyond that, I don't know how much I could do with any speed at all.
Well, I'll tell you, my form would be so bad, it would be nothing but laughs directed at me for the entirety.
I definitely couldn't do the butterfly, that's for sure. I couldn't do the brushstroke. I could probably do the backstroke, not too great. I'd have to go freestyle.
On your screen, you see the participants in the A final of the men's 1650 free. For the men, this is the fourth heat of the day. The first three took place earlier today. They got started around 2 p.m. Again, if you want to check those out, they are on our stream from earlier in the day. The men were swimming in pool number 2, the diving well pool to our left. So that would be Metropolitan Conference Swimming and Diving Championship Prelims 2. Day 4, Prelims 2 marks the pool where the men were swimming earlier in the day, if you want to check that out.
Well, Joe, in this race, one of your favorites, Gavin Foreman, going to be swimming on the lane 4.
Participants in the men's 1650 free final, lane 1. David Gardner of Salisbury, lane 2. Robert Gagnon of Rowan, lane 3. Brian Bull, TCNJ, one of 4 straight Lions competing in this event. Also from TCNJ, you said his name already, Nick. Lane 4, Gavin Foreman. Lane 5, Lucas Black. Lane 6, Ethan Label. Lane 7, Ryan Capps of Montclair State University. And in lane 8, Kyle Johnson of the University of Mary Washington.
Joe, if TCNJ here can sweep the podium and go 1, 2, 3, that's going to play dividends for them huge as it goes towards the total team score here.
Now, I've been looking around for team scores online all weekend for the viewers. We don't have those. Meet Mobile does. This meet is not on SwimCloud. The last Mets championship that was on SwimCloud was a few years back. So live scoring updates not available. And without live updates, we don't want to give you outdated, useless tallies.
So everybody's guess at home is as good as ours.
If you've been watching all weekend, you typically have a pretty good inclination of which way things are leaning.
Let us know in the chat if you think you know who's going to win or who is winning right now, in your opinion.
Last year, Mary Washington for the women. If you remembered correctly, TCNJ for the men. The chat will be very mad at me if I'm wrong about that. Very mad. It was TCNJ and Rowan going back and forth in a lot of the A finals last year.
Well, a lot of TCNJ viewers tuning in for this race, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. And we're underway in the men's 1650 free. Nick, you have the NCAA cut times.
Yes, so first for D2, we have the cut time of 15:14:36 in the A, and B standard is 16:00:08. But for D3, it's a different story, and it's 15:02:06 in the A standard and 16:16:7 in the B standard.
So at 16:16:7 B standard, we had 2 swimmers who met that mark in their seed time. Lucas Black, Gavin Foreman. Brian Bull didn't miss by much. About a second and a half, maybe a second he missed by. So
Yeah.
those some names to watch out for in terms of NCAA cuts.
Brian looking to grab the bull by its horns and do what McCafferty just did and win this race with a faster time than he had in his prelims, because a real significant difference there between Foreman and Bull and Foreman and Black talking 14, 15 seconds there. So a lot of ground to make up, but again, we didn't see that coming with McCafferty making up so much time. Almost 50 seconds difference between her winning time and her seed time.
You said it before. It seemed like McCafferty took some of her competition by surprise. They certainly won't be surprised next year. Deidre a junior, so she's eligible to come back, but a lot of juniors competing for the final time this year because, of course, 2020 was wiped out amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. So a lot of athletes listed on the program and the meet sheets as juniors are competing for the last time.
Certainly the case across all of collegiate sports. You and I do a lot of college sports, and it's just the way it's going to be here as the spring semester comes towards an end, or at least we head towards spring breaks across the country.
We have a big senior day coming up this weekend at the College of Staten Island. Of course, I'm a part of that. Part-time employee over at CSI as the athletic communications coordinator. I'm in charge of writing those senior day speeches.
They should be great. We'll see how they're delivered, though.
By Nick Bavona.
All right.
He was in our live chat last night. Shout out to Nick if he's watching. Taking a look at the early splits. Gavin Foreman, sub 29. The only swimmer during that previous 50 to register a split, sub 29 seconds. Foreman headed back to the touchpad. And once again, sub 29.
28.62. A race like this, it's so hard to really know where you are in the competition because everyone gets all jumbled up, people getting lapped. So it's really, you just got to swim against yourself here and do your best because you really don't know where your competition is in such a long race.
In a lot of the shorter events, you can catch it more easily on a pool level stream where they have a camera focused on individual swimmers. It's very hard to tell from up here in the press box, but you will see it if you watch an Olympic swimming broadcast. The swimmers choose the direction in which they breathe in order to scope out the competition in the adjacent lanes. So you'll see that from time to time. It's easier for us to spot in person than it would be for someone on the stream, but in shorter events, you definitely see that quite a bit, where a swimmer will check over their shoulder in the lane next to them and see exactly how close their nearest competitors are behind them.
38 lengths to go. Foreman still ahead, 4:13.41, 28.76 split, and Lucas Block, 28.97 split. So those are the top two split times of the two leaders.
So Black comes in sub 29 for the first time. Right now, it doesn't appear any other swimmer is approaching that mark of 29 seconds. Just Foreman and Black, as once again Foreman comes in 28.74. This time Black a tad over 29 seconds.
Brian Bull, 29.16.
Gavin Foreman maintains the lead, followed by Lucas Black and the aforementioned Brian Bull. All teammates along with Ethan Label. Wouldn't you know it, Label's in fourth.
TCAJ definitely looking to try to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race.
1, 2, 3, 4 would be huge in terms of points, as you mentioned before. Points awarded to a few more placements here in this championship meet. Typical swimming and diving meet, you might see points awarded to the top 3 or 4 in an individual event. Usually something like 7-3-2-1 or 9-4-2-1, depending on the meet.
So Joe, do you think you could do this event untimed? Do you think you could handle all this swimming?
With no preparation? Absolutely not. Funny story, while we're about a bit shy of the midway point here. My father's run a couple of marathons. Now, I'm not trying to compare marathon running to swimming, but I think you'll see where I'm going with it in a second. So he's run the New York City Marathon a couple of times.
He's crazy. I could never imagine running a marathon.
This was many years ago. So he runs the New York City Marathon, and I said something like, I'm young, I'm in shape, I could run a 5-minute mile. So
that's tough. That's elite level right there.
I just figured I could. So he's standing behind me in the gym in his community, watching me on the treadmill try and run a 5-minute mile. I have no idea what level I have to set the treadmill to run the 5-minute mile. I'm in my head thinking, I'll go with what I feel like I can handle. I'm not going to try and calculate miles per hour out to get it in 5 minutes, but let's just say I nearly died trying. I think I ran a 5:35 or a 5:40. And
that's actually pretty impressive.
I was toast. Back then, I did cardio.
I don't think I could run a sub 10-minute mile. I doubt it.
This was back when I was in much better cardiovascular shape. But these swimmers are in peak cardiovascular condition. I'm sure a lot of them can run miles close to 5 minutes.
You wonder if they do any running to help with their regimen to train for the swimming.
What I will say is I do not run anymore. I walk plenty, but I will not run. The knees don't like it.
A lot of walking from your car to the United States Postal Service and back.
That's true. It used to be to and from work at CSI for swimming meets just like this.
Now, how long was that walk for you? Was that like 2 miles, 3 miles?
I haven't actually mapped out CSI to my residence. I would guess it's a mile or two. I did that walk 4 times a week for 4 years, and then working, I did it again. So I had some preparation for that 5:40 mile.
Good way to save on a parking pass. Just walk. Now, what's the worst weather you had to walk in to work?
Blizzard.
Blizzard. Jeez.
The beginnings of a blizzard. So it was snowing heavily. I came in fully covered in frost and snow. Didn't even wipe it off. I just sat down. People were giving me odd looks, as expected.
Boy, oh boy.
Lap 36 here in this men's 1650 freeze. We try and keep you entertained throughout the majority of this event.
Frosty the foreman. And I can't even imagine what it's like to be in that cold right now. It's super hot in here this evening.
I've been in here since about 9:30 this morning.
You lived here now. You've been here. You've been in here more hours this weekend than you've been elsewhere.
That's true. The last 2 days, about 12 hours each day, and it would have been 3 straight had we covered the prelims on Friday. I would have bolted down here last minute Friday morning to cover the prelims. Typically, I wouldn't cover an event like that. We'd send another member of our crew. But I had a meeting at CSI, so there was no covering the prelims on Friday. I was certain to be here the next 2 days. Could have rescheduled that meeting had we known in advance, but credit to the Mets conference to work around our schedules and get us here for the weekend.
Well, it was by popular demand that you, the viewers at home, were able to see the prelims this weekend.
I will say, the families and friends of the swimmers have been very gracious all weekend. Every time someone realizes I'm wearing the PDF Sports Network polo, they say thank you. Several have thanked me specifically for covering those prelims, so it was great for us to be here.
Brian Bull, 29-79 split. Ethan Label, 29-42.
Foreman still sub 29 by the slimmest of margins. He is still sub 29, as is Lucas Black. Now Black's splits are improving. He's still chasing his teammate Foreman.
Now, how much do you think, when you have 4 teammates in the same race, obviously they all want to win, but how much do you think they give each other or bust each other's chops after the fact when one does better than the other?
I'll tell you, if it was me and my friends, there would be a lot of bragging rights on the line, that's for sure. You drop a potential tying touchdown in a flag football game, we're going to rag on you for it.
Yeah, but
He knows who he is.
That's more of an individual competition. It must be one of the Pats you're discussing.
It's one of the Pats.
So if we look at the PDF crew, let's say there was a swimming event. How would you handicap who's gonna do the best of that?
I would win.
All right.
I would win. It would be me and then the rest of the field.
When's the last time you swam?
Never. Never. Unless we have an undercover swimmer on the crew, I'm very confident I would win. Thankfully, we're not in the business of swimming and diving here. Ourselves, that is. Covering it, all for it.
I think our viewers would love to see you go off the top platform on a diving board.
Now, it looks like fun until you hit the water and you don't enter correctly, which is inevitably what would happen. It takes a lot more grace than I possess to properly dive, and I certainly appreciate the skill of our divers. A skill I do not possess.
This place from last year, 4-9. Let's see where he'll be.
14 laps to go in this men's 1650 free. Gavin Foreman still registering split sub 29. He has been doing so throughout this entire race. He still leads. His teammate, Lucas Black, not far behind him.
3.5 minutes left in this race, approximately, based on the seed times.
And looking at the other swimmers, they're scattered at all different points in this race in terms of what lap they're on. So it looks like a couple of TCNJ teammates will be competing for the win at this point. Still a lot of time, but that's how it appears right now.
I think Ethan Label is in third right now. Maybe not.
Lap 56 right here is once again Black sub 29 split in pursuit of Foreman. Not much has changed there. Third and fourth being battled out in lanes 3 and lane 6.
Gavin Foreman at the 28. He's holding the 28. Lucas was holding 29s last year.
Over to our left, women's 3-meter diving has concluded. Unfortunately, they have their own announcer, so we don't know who the winner was. I think that would be a great place to get the wireless mic. You get the wireless mic over there, and then that's the audio for the diving stream, but that's something we'll work on next year. We weren't sure what the extent of our coverage was going to be this year. Last year it was one stream, and for diving coverage we split it in. But we'll talk more about our aspirations for next year later in the night as Gavin Foreman continues to hold the lead here as we near the end of this men's 1650 free. 100 to go for Foreman.
Foreman looks very likely to win this. Don't think anyone's going to catch him. I think it's going to be a 1-2-3, maybe 1-2-3-4 finish for TCNJ.
They will certainly take it. Foreman, 27.52. He is certainly making a bid for an NCAA cut here.
1540.
Record pace, 15:40. Foreman not going to hit that, but he does hit 15:42.45 for first place in the men's 1650 free final. Lucas Black second, as has been the case for much of this heat. Those teammates exchange a high five and a hug near the touch pads. Photo opportunity right there for the photographer poolside as Brian Bull takes third. And Ethan Label takes fourth.
Tremendous for TCNJ.
And Nick, I think all four of them met that B standard. What did we say it was? 16-16? If that is indeed the case, all four TCNJ swimmers met that cut.
Well, for D2, the B standard was 16:04, but for D3, it was 16:16.7.
These are all D3 programs. 16-16-7 was met by all four swimmers in this event for TCNJ.
All right, put your hands together for those finals.
Foreman pumped up in the pool, as are his TCNJ teammates in the stands. Once again, they are seated just outside of the range of our camera to the right. Women's 200-yard backstroke is next, and things will begin to speed up just a bit here. Some shorter events coming up. 200 back, 100 free, 200 breast, and 200 butterfly. Participants in the women's 200-yard back C final. Emma Lindeck of Kane University, Amber Candido of the University of Mary Washington, Rachel Weiland of Salisbury, Caitlin Markham of Salisbury, Hugh Clayton of Rowan University, Kira Chen of Baruch, Caroline Turner of Mary Washington, and Samantha Pricken of William Patterson University. Now, Trisha, we'll do our best to keep you updated on Samantha's status in this event. Women's 200-yard back C final. Samantha swimming out of lane 8 tonight.
Markham had the best prelim time at 2:14.97.
Through the first 25, the leaders swimming out of lanes 4, 5, and 6. Markham, Clayton, Chen. Not far behind is Pricken in lane 8. She was about maybe a couple tenths of a second off the pace. At least I thought so. She didn't register a split up on the scoreboard. Looks like she didn't touch Nick.
She missed the touch.
It looks that way. Either that or the touchpad malfunction. But
we did see lane 8 malfunction last night.
That's right.
I'll give it approximate. Samantha Pricken here as she goes to the touchpad.
Chen, the leader right now, swimming out of lane 6.
1:04.8, so she must either missed it at first because they're double registered there.
She missed the first touch, but fortunately that won't matter. They do have timekeepers at the end of the pool. First to the wall. Here at Chen. Chen followed closely by Caitlin Markham in lane 4. Samantha Pricken not far behind in lane 8. Final 50 here.
Samantha Pricken 36.33 in third right now. Kira Chen 34.91. Caitlin Markham 35.47. Caroline Turner in the mix as well, 34.63.
Chen, the leader. Markham not far behind. Can Chen hold on? It doesn't look like Markham is gaining.
Turner's right there too.
And Chen holds on by less than 0.3 of a second, followed by Markham, Turner.
there's an issue with the touchpad at 8. So
There's not an issue, Nick. She only touched 3 times. That's why I paused. I wanted to see where she
well,
fell.
We don't know where her place is going to be, though. So
It was at about, I believe, 218. I believe she was 4th, Samantha Prickett in lane 8. I believe placed 4th in that event. But she missed a touch at the conclusion of the first 50. So I believe she takes 4th. Nonetheless, this is the B final in the women's 200-yard backstroke. Juliette De Pasquale in lane 1 of Montclair State, also of Montclair State. Sophia Shopovic in lane 2. Trisha Lau of Rowan in lane 3. Julia Weinreb of Montclair State, lane 4. Phoebe Root of Mary Washington, lane 5. Jermaine Chow of Hunter College in lane 6. Morgan Adams of Salisbury, lane 7. Erin Barrett of Montclair State in lane 8.
Weinreb, Root, Chow, and Law all very close in their prelim times, all around 2:12:30.
Early lead appears to belong to Jermaine Chow in lane 6. And she edged out Sophia Shopovic through the first 50 by just over 1/10 of a second. Shopovic and Chow, the leaders right now. Chow is first to the wall. Looks like she gained a bit of ground off that turn, but Shopovic still very close behind, along with at least 3 other swimmers in lanes 1, 3, and 4.
Chow 33:04 there, leading right now.
Lanes 1 through 4 assembled about as closely as you can be assembled. Chow has the lead by maybe half body length. Not by much. Off that last turn, Julia Weinreb gains some ground over lanes 1, 2, and 3. And very quickly, Weinreb is closing on Chow. Final 50 here. Chow still the leader, but not by much. Weinreb closing in out of lane 4.
Weinreb might pass her here. She's very good off the wall.
Let's see if she can duplicate that effort from her last turn. And Nick, you're right. It looks like she did. That may be enough to send her to victory here. Julia Weinreb headed for the touchpad with the lead. Chow not far behind, but Weinreb will take first. Chow second. De Pasquale third. Lau fourth. Root fifth. Barrett sixth. Shopovic seventh. And Adams eighth.
Well, who let the dogs out is last seen here, but the big dog is not in this race, Joe. Missed opportunity.
Women's 200-yard backstroke A final coming up next. As the participants are being introduced over public address, we'll share those with you. In lane 1, Kelly Curran of the University of Mary Washington. In lane 2, Kiana Guarino of Hunter College. Lane 3, Camden Martin of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. In lane 4, Ella Pennington of Rowan University. Annie Hood of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in lane 5. Ashley Kahns of Kane University, lane 6. Lindsay Cave of Rowan University, lane 7. And April Gross of the University of Mary Washington in lane 8.
Lane number 3, the 7th of the 100 back, multiple school record.
Take a look at some of the seed times ahead of this A final. Curran, 2:10.39. Guarino, 2:08.92. Martin, 2:07.8. Pennington, 2:02.54. Hood, 2:06.51. Kahns, 2:07.81. Cave 209.15, and Gross 211.08. The record in this event at Metro Championships set back in 2015 by Joanna Pedersen, 1:58.90. That about 4 seconds ahead of Pennington's pace during the prelims. Final swimmer being introduced over public address right now. We are moments away from this A final. Women's 200 back as the swimmers will head into the pool momentarily to get us underway.
Ella Pennington had the best prelim time at 2:02.54. Second closest to her with Annie Hood at 2:06.51.
Division III cuts in the 200 back. A standard 155.9, B standard 203.30. Pennington met that B standard during the prelims. We'll see if she can improve on that time here. Pennington in lane 4. And it looks like she's first to the wall through the first 25.
Early lead for Pennington, but everyone is still bunched pretty closely right behind her.
We have a Rowan fan in the chat cheering on Lindsay Cave and Ella Pennington of the Profs. Pennington with a split, sub 28 through the first 50, 27.83. Pennington heads toward the wall with a nice lead here. And off the turn, that lead remains fairly steady. Annie Hood not far behind in lane 5. The rest of the field assembled closely behind Hood.
Pennington in the lead, 30-39 split there, 58-22 overall.
That's a big increase over the first 50, but sub 1 minute through the first 100.
2-second lead over Annie Hood, who was at 1:43.
Pennington still with a sizable lead, heading back for the touchpad. Keep in mind, she was sub 1 minute through the first 50, or I should say the first 100, excuse me. She's sub 130, Nick, through the first 150. She's approaching the wall, just over 25 yards to go here.
You thinking record, Joe? I don't know.
She's not on a record pace, but is on a pace for sub 2 minutes. We'll see if she finishes sub 2 minutes. Going to be tough. I don't think so. 2:02.33 for Pennington. A bit better than her prelim time. Annie Hood second over Camden Martin by about 1 second. Ashley Collins fourth. Kiana Guarino fifth. Lindsay Cave sixth. Kaylee Curran seventh. And April Gross eighth. There you see the participants in the C final of the men's 200-yard backstroke. Stephen Barnard, lane 1. Brendan McDevitt in lane 2. Barnard of Montclair State, McDevitt of Ramapo. Samuel De Leon of Ramapo in lane 3. Christian Werner of Rowan, lane 4. Ethan Abramov of CSI, College of Staten Island, lane 5. They'll always be CSI to me.
Stat.
They'll never be stat to me, I can tell you that.
I only have seen them be titled as stat here at the Mets.
It's only in swimming statistics, nowhere else. Paul Dadovich of Mary Washington, lane 6. Christian Ulison of Montclair State, lane 7. I'm assuming that is Christian anyway. First name cut off a bit. And Christian Ramache of Salisbury in lane 8. Close race so far between McDevitt and Werner in lanes 2 and 4. Werner first to the wall by a slim margin. McDevitt right with him.
The center of the pool, lane number 4 is Werner.
Werner leading the way, 29:52.
56.88 tonight. The field is back
In the men's 200 backstroke, NCAA cut times, A standard D3, 143.63, B standard 149.9. Staten Island in Division 2. So following this next set of touches, we'll get you the D2 cut times. Werner first to the touch pads ahead of McDevitt. Dadovich.
68 this morning. About 3 seconds faster.
200 back. Division 3, Division 2. Check that. Division 2. A standard for the men. 143.61. B standard 148.79. As the standings don't change much, Werner 1, McDevitt 2, Dadovich 3, De Leon 4, Ramache 5, Abramov 6th, and there they go off the board.
All right, Joe, on to the next one now, as they quickly clear the board.
B final, men's 200 back, about to get underway. Dominic Anstey of Salisbury in lane 1. Pronounced Alex's last name as Young last night. Could be wrong there, but he swims for the University of Mary Washington in lane 2. Max Clare of CSI.
Two-sport athlete, Max Clare.
Not stat.
Two-sport athlete.
In lane 3. Daniel Grigoriev of Salisbury, lane 4. Kyle Johnson, Mary Washington, lane 5. Brian Shimolensky of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, lane 6. Dennis DeLargy, Montclair State, lane 7. And Boone Fleener, Mary Washington, lane 8.
The final now underwater. Dominic Hansen, freshman from Salisbury, Alex senior from Mary Washington, 2.
Looks like Max Clare hits the wall first there, but everyone's very close right now.
Very close between a bunch of swimmers through that first 25. They head back to the touch pads. Looks like Grigoriev may have gotten there first. Fleener Boone also in the mix, Boone Fleener in lane 8 in the mix as well. I believe he was first to the touch pad. Fleener certainly first to the wall. And it was by a pretty considerable margin as he heads back toward the touch pads. Public address loves Boone Fleener. I thought that was an audio malfunction in the venue.
Rick Boogs, Boone Fleener.
I figured that out after the fact.
Fleener a little behind now.
We'll see where the swimmers touch here in terms of standing. Grigoriev, Shimolensky, and then Fleener. Grigoriev sub 30-second split there. That gave him the lead. Shimolensky pushing him as both hit the wall simultaneously. We're going to have a close finish here. Grigoriev and Shimolensky headed for the wall, and Grigoriev has it.
Max Clare in third.
Of CSI, the College of Staten Island. Grigoriev 1, Shimolensky 2, Clare 3, DeLargy 4, Young 5, Johnson 6, Anstey 7, Fleener 8.
Clare, a prolific gamer, As we mentioned, two-sport athlete, a champion in the ECC in video gaming.
Men's 200-yard backstroke A final coming up. As the participants head to the starting blocks, I will introduce them for you. Ahead of public address in lane 1, Teague Mayer of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. Lane 2, Heath Lewis, also of US MMA. Lane 3, Jonah Herring, TCNJ. Lane 5, Ryan Higgins, TCNJ. Lane 6, Toby Conblay, Rowan University. Lane 6, Andrew Walter, TCNJ. Lane 7, Justin Golia, Rowan University. Lane 8, Robert Kraus, Salisbury.
United States Merchant Marine Academy, Heath Lewis. Coming out of lane number 3, competing in his third A final this
So Nick, you liked Conrad Hoodie as a swimmer's name. What do you think of Boone Fleener? The chat likes that name as well.
I think Bob, the PA guy, really liked it as he said, "Boone."
He was fourth in this event last year from the College of New Jersey, Ryan Higgins. Lane number 5.
Introductions have reached lane 5.
Swim at this
So we're about 30 or 45 seconds away from getting started here in the A final of the men's 200 back. The participants in the women's 100 free standing behind them, so we're not going to have a break after this event. Stay right here.
I think we'll have a break before the relay. That's it. Might go straight through till the relay. Three people from TCNJ in this race.
For our viewers at home who are asking about when specific events will take place, Event 38 is the 200-yard butterfly for the men. So Event 38 is the men's 200-yard butterfly. We have 3 heats of each event. This is the 3rd heat in the men's 200 back. If you're waiting for Event 38, you'll have 3 women's heats in the 200 breast and the 100-yard freestyle ahead of the 200 butterfly. So 3 men's heats, 100 free, 3 women's heats in the 100 free, 3 women's heats, 200 breast, 3 men's heats in the 200 breast, followed by 3 women's heats in the 200 butterfly. Then you'll have Event 38, which is the men's 200 butterfly. I had to get that in quickly. Hope that helps. We'll clarify later as it gets closer. Heading for the touch pads, it looks like Teague Mayer is in the lead out of lane 1. He is indeed first to the pads, sub 25 seconds. Mayer will also be first to the wall. Looks like Toby Canvey might be closing a bit out of lane 5. Higgins in lane 4 closing in as well. Mayer's lead shrinking quickly.
Higgins 27.50.
About 75 yards to go here as the swimmers approach the wall. Mayer's still the leader here. Here comes Higgins. Bob's right on it on public address. Higgins first to the touch pad.
121.37.
Higgins, Conley doing battle now in lanes 4 and 5, but it's Higgins maintaining the lead to the wall. Final 25 yards. Higgins still leads. Will Conley push him? He just might, Nick. Is there enough left? I don't think so, as Ryan Higgins takes the men's 200-yard backstroke A final. Conley second, Walter third, Herring fourth, Mayer fifth, Golia sixth, Lewis seventh, and Kraus eighth.
Tremendous race there, for sure.
Our next event, the women's 100-yard freestyle. Their Metro champs record.
You see the College of Staten Island over there getting very into this. Looks like their men's basketball coach might be there as well.
He certainly is there.
Let's get him up here, Joe.
They just came back from the University of the District of Columbia. Big game for them on Saturday. It's a win and they're in game. They win Saturday, they're in the playoffs.
Nothing like ECC conference tournament basketball.
No doubt about that. It would be our first taste at the College of Staten Island. We sure hope they win.
Things are about to get a lot quicker here as we have 100 free event here. Ava Mafucci in lane 1, Lily Golden lane 2, Paige Stricker lane 3, Haley Agin lane 4, Jessica Johnson lane 5, Kara Graybill lane 6, Julia Weinreb in 7. She just raced a few minutes ago, and Faith Courtwright in lane 8.
Thank you, Nick. Very close through the first 50. No distinguished leader. We'll see if that changes approaching the wall. Looks like it may be a narrow lead for Lily Golden in lane 2, but that's the only inclination I have right now. Striker close behind in lane 3 as well, and it looks like she has taken the lead. Will she take this race from Mary Washington? Weinreb not far behind either. Striker 1, Golden 2, Jessica Johnson of CSI 3, Weinreb 4, Graybill 5, Courtwright 6, Hagen 7, and Mafucci 8th.
Great showing there by Stat with all their supporters cheering them on. Stat set a few records the last 2 nights for their program as well.
They did. Unfortunately, without the results, we couldn't promote that outside of our Instagram account, but Marquise gets all those texts.
CSI Swim and Dive.
They need to get me on the text chain.
Well, they don't call you the ACC for nothing. And they're off. Elizabeth Jones in lane 1, Alexa Healthy lane 2, Mackenzie Wall lane 3, Abby Burns lane 4, Cameron Carrazza lane 5, Anna Jajak lane 6, Elise Dalkey lane 7, and Valeria Pages in lane 8.
Through the first 50, looks like Elise Dalkey by about 0.3 of a second over Abby Burns. Dalkey also first to the wall. She maintains her lead, and it doesn't look like anybody will catch her. The big question is who will take second. Second could go in any direction. It's Dalkey 1 and Anna Jajak 2 in the women's 100-yard freestyle B final. And I am going to step off headset for just a moment and resituate our camera a bit, as it looks like lane 1 just a bit obstructed by our LED board. I'll be right back. Nick, introduce the participants in the A final.
All right, Joe, we'll be back in plenty of time because, hey, Mr. DJ, here come the participants as they walk out, and the energy gets louder in here. So as they make their way out, we'll wait till their names come on the board, and you're seeing them on your screen now as for who is in this race. So as Bob gets ready to make the announcement of who's in this race, we will do the same. So
there they are.
Lane 1 from the University of Mary Washington, Thalia Costanza. And lane 2 from Montclair State University, Rourke Peralta. Lane 3 from Rowan, it's Jordan McChesney. Lane 4 from TCNJ, Rachel Hanna. Lane 5 also from TCNJ, Shannon Hesse. In lane 6 from Kane, Emma Bellairs. And in lane 7 from MSU,
it's Juliana, Nick.
Juliana Scope Cardillo, as the chat let us know last night as well. And in lane 8 from RWU, it's Maya June.
After the first 2 nights, I made sure I had that information on hand. Not a common last name, so I was able to quickly Google it. Swimming and diving came right up. Montclair State, Juliana Scott Cardillo. Introductions continue poolside as we are moments away from the women's 100-yard freestyle A final.
Shannon Hesse was the runner-up in this event last year, so she's looking to win this in her senior year, her last time swimming this event.
No Division II swimmers in this A final, so we'll get you the Division III cut times for the women's 100 free. A standard, 49:31. B standard, 51:55. Taking a look at the seed times during the prelims, I don't see any that met the cut. So we'll see. Certainly within striking distance for a couple of swimmers. Specifically, Rachel Hannon and Shannon Hesse, both within about a second of the B standard for NCAA cuts. We'll see what they can do in this A final. And we're underway, women's 100 free A final. Swimmers heading toward the wall, no distinguished leader yet. We'll see what the first turn brings. Still no distinguished leader. It looks like Hannah and Hesse of TCNJ may have a narrow lead. Rourke Peralta not far behind.
Hannah, 24:90.
24:89, 24:90 for Hesse and Hannah.
Looks like Hannah touched the wall first here.
They are once again first to the wall, final yards. Hannah and Hesse teammates vying for 1 and 2. Hannah with a narrow lead, and she comes in with a time of 52:36. Hesse fell to 4th, surpassed by Emma Bellers and Jordan McChesney very late, Nick. It looked like Hannah and Hesse were destined for a 1-2 finish. Instead, Hesse finishes 4th. Maya June 5th. Scott Cardillo 6th. Peralta 7th. And Costanza 8th.
What a finish there. Now we're going to the men's free 100 for the freestyle. So in lane 1 from Rowan, Matt DeGennaro. In lane 2 from the University of Mary Washington, Ellis Winfrey. In lane 3 from Rowan, Andrew Dang. In lane 4 from University of Mary Washington, Preston Trevi. In lane 5, also from the University of Mary Washington, Darrell Everett. Lane 6, Mitchell McGee from Salisbury. University of Mary Washington's Kai Green in lane 7. And Gavin Luong from Rowan in lane 8.
Men's 100 free C final. Looks like Everett and Green were first to the wall there through the first 25, but it's still anyone's race, as most 100s typically are for much of the duration. Through the first 50, Darrell Everett with the lead. Everett headed for the wall. He gets there first, and off that turn, his lead grows. Darrell Everett with the lead, but he's being pushed out of lane 7. Kai Green not far behind. It looks like Everett will have enough, and Everett does take first. Green second. Mitchell McGee third. Ellis Winfrey 4th. Preston Trevi 5th. Andrew Dang 6th. Gavin Long 7th. And Matt DeGennaro 8th.
University of Mary Washington finishes 1, 2, 4, and 5 in that race. Joe, heat number 2 here. A lot of Staten Islanders from Stat, or as we like to call it, the College of Staten Island in this race.
I don't like to call them that. I never have called them that, never will. It's CSI. As the Dolphins are represented in both lanes 1 and 2 by Anthony Attenborough and David Pajoli. Richard Park of TCNJ, lane 3. Alex Volin of Rowan, lane 4. Daniel Todd, US MMA, lane 5. Michael DeSimone, Salisbury, lane 6. Will Berkey, Mary Washington, lane 7. And Matt Wackendorfer of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in lane 8. Looks like Berkey may have been first to the wall. Wackendorfer was in the mix as well in lane 8. Really tough to see Wackendorfer, but I believe he was first to the wall.
22:37 going out.
Attenborough was first to the wall, Joe.
First to the touch, perhaps. Attenborough looks like he stroke for stroke with Berkey. Also in the mix, Daniel Todd. We'll see who comes away with it. It looks like Todd kicked it into a second gear. And Todd takes 1. David Pajoli 2. Will Berkey 3. Anthony Attenborough 4. Matt Wackendorfer 5. Michael DeSimone 6. Alex Volin 7th. And Richard Park 8th. Music begins, and you know what that means, Nick. Time for the A final.
The competitors are walking out to their places now. After this, we are on to the breaststroke.
The participants up on your screen a bit early, and those names now populate the scoreboard in venue. Lane 1 representing TCNJ, Matt Watts. Lane 2 representing Rowan, Paul Ryder. Lane 3 representing TCNJ, Dixon Caller. James McChesney of TCNJ in lane 4. Will Schneider of US MMA, lane 5. Daniel Scherer, also of US MMA, lane 6. David McCrane, also of the Merchant Marine Academy, in lane 7. And Youssef Al-Khouli of Baruch in lane 8.
His third A final appearance this weekend.
So 3 people from TCNJ in this, 3 people from the United States Merchant Marine Academy in this race.
Lane number 3, two-time All-American from the College of New Jersey.
3 Mariners, 2 Lions, make that 3 Lions. 3 Mariners, 3 Lions, a Prof, and a Bearcat in the A final of the men's 100 free. McChesney was a favorite in the stream chat last night.
From the United States Merchant Marine Academy, Will Schneider.
Introductions continue over public address now at lane 7, and once Bob is finished, it's into the pool.
Daniel Scherer.
Taking a look toward the starting blocks, our program will continue right on after this. Our next event, the 200-yard breaststroke. The women will take to the pool first, followed by the men.
After that, it's the butterfly, and then I'm anticipating we'll have some sort of break in the action before the freestyle relays.
Erotic Turtle, a very interesting nickname for Paul Ryder.
What did you say his nickname was?
A very interesting one.
Oh,
I didn't specify.
I thought you read what his nickname was.
I did not read it.
So it's something turtle.
Oh, Erotic Turtle is the username.
Oh, so that's all you need to know about what the nickname is going to be.
Paul, let's say Paul goes by Big P.
All right.
Men's 100 free, A final. McChesney and McCrane look to be at the head of the pack right now. Not far behind Schneider in lane 5. And that trio, the first 3 to the touch pads. McChesney threw the first 50 at 21:31.
Let's get him a low 44 now.
Big P, he's in it. He's in the mix.
McChesney has jumped out to a considerable lead here. He takes first. Who will take second? And McCrane takes second by a slim margin. Ryder takes third. Schneider 4th, Scherer 5th, Alcooli 6th, Watt 7th, and Caller 8th.
Our next event, the women's 200-yard breaststroke.
Chat wanted sub 44 out of lane 4. They just missed. 44.07 for McChesney.
C final, Mr. Referee.
C final, women's 200-yard breaststroke. Catherine Maceda in lane 1, Lauren Sherrill in lane 2, Jessica Felsky lane 3, Lily Shea lane 4, Julia Birkenbosch lane 5, Natty Baldonazzo lane 6, Sarah Bent lane 7, Kinsey Ginsburg in lane 8. Chat very confident in James McChesney moving forward with good reason. We've seen his talents on full display the last 2 years. With his performance last year, that's a name we remembered coming in to this weekend. Has put on a show each of the last 2 years. His teammates, former teammates, perhaps friends watching in the group chat. Well, I call it a group chat, it's the live chat. Nonetheless, C final, women's 200-yard breaststroke. The leader through the first 50, Jessica Felsky, swimming out of lane 3, and it appears as if she's going to be first to the wall. And she is by about a body length, maybe a bit less. Felsky heading for the touch pads. And there is a nice contingent of Mariners gathered around starting block number 3, cheering on their teammate. Nice contingent gathered between lanes 2 and 3. A couple of Mariners swimming there.
Felsky 37-30 split. She's got a pretty nice lead right now.
The only swimmer sub 38 split, and she was closer to 37 right there. Felsky with a nice lead, heading back for the touch pad. Felsky sub 150 through the first 150. Closest competitors swimming out of lanes 2 and 4. Sherrill and Shea. Don't count Shea out yet. She's closing in here as the swimmers head toward the wall, and she's closing in fast, Nick. Does she have enough left?
She's going to have to push it here.
Look at that underwater. As Shea made up some ground there beneath the surface. Did she make up enough? It looks like she may have. Felsky headed for the touch pad. Shea headed for the touch pad. And Shea comes all the way back to take the C final by 12 100ths of a second. What a finish.
Shea there, 2:30.67, comes from behind for the victory.
Next up, for B final, women's 200-yard breaststroke, Mr. Referee.
Competitors in the women's 200-yard breaststroke B final. Renee Rosler of Roberts Wesleyan, lane 1. Cami Jovic of Ramapo, lane 2. Caitlin Gallin of TCNJ, lane 3. Bella Stefanovic of Rowan University, lane 4. Hopefully, I went 1 for 4 on the weekend with that. Lane 5, Delaney Humphrey of Mary Washington, lane 6. Catherine McCain, Sarah Lawrence, lane 7. Juliana Bleeker, Mary Washington, lane 8. Amanda Davis, Kane University.
Lane number 3, Lane number 4, sophomore from Rowan, Bella Stefanovic. Lane number 5, sophomore from Mary Washington, Delaney Humphrey. Lane number 6 from Sarah Lawrence, Catherine McCain. Lane number 7, sophomore from Mary
Looks like Stefanovic may have been first to the touch pad. She was, followed by Delaney Humphrey.
33.06 for Stefanovic.
She's also first to the wall here. Barely edging out competitors in lane 5 and lane 7, Humphrey and Bleeker.
We've seen Bleeker win a few events here at the Mets.
Certainly in the mix in this B final. Stefanovic first. The touchpad, split of 37.03. That still tops. Humphrey not far behind, 37.4.
Still on pace with the morning swim. Here comes the lady Humphrey out of 5. Trying to chase you down.
Close race in lanes 4 and 5 right now. But it doesn't appear as if anybody is out of it yet. Stefanovic and Humphrey arrive at the pad simultaneously, but off the turn there, Stefanovic maintains the lead.
Neck and neck here. Humphrey's moving quick here. Can she catch up?
It's going to be close. It looks like Humphrey may have a slight edge, but that is the case by 0.05 of a second. Now, I was trying to gauge from my viewing angle where they stood. Now, without accent marks, it's hard to enunciate last names correctly, but it was spelled out Stefanovic in the chat last night, but it might be Stefanovic. That sounds more accurate. As someone who writes pronunciation guides, it's...
Do you wish you had one for swimming?
I wish I had one, of course, but when you break from a traditional pronunciation guide into the stream live chat, it gets a bit confusing, but hopefully I got it right at some point during that event.
All right, so now it's time for the A final, Heat 3 here. Lane 1 from Salisbury, Samantha Watson. Lane 2 from the University of Mary Washington, Jenny Thompson. Lane 3 from Montclair State University is Abby Brock. Lane 4, Kinsey Brooks from the University of Mary Washington. We've seen her be very successful here at the Mets. And lane 5, Naomi Miller from Kane, also very successful here at the Mets. Bridget Zagrobelny from the University of Mary Washington in lane 6. Tegan Powell from Kane in lane 7. Emmy Higgins from the United States Merchant Marine Academy in lane 8.
I'm taking a look toward the starting blocks, and I believe we might have a break after this. So I could be mistaken. Not often we'd see the break
in between the events, between men and women.
That's what I was about to say, but I don't see many of the men's swimmers gathered behind the starting blocks, which has been typical throughout the night.
Lane number 4, the top seed coming in. Swimmer of the year 2022. First this year, the 2IM and the 100 breast. NCAA member of the 2 and the...
Kinsey Brooks swimming out of lane 4 with a record-setting performance last night.
It has been real fun to watch Kinsey Brooks and Naomi Miller battle it out all Mets long.
Let's see where their seed times were. A lot of paperwork here, but I'll find those for you in just a moment. All right, for Brooks, 2:15.07. Miller, 2:19.64. Nick, we are on record watch. Brooks broke the record during the prelims by 17/100ths.
So she is the record holder. So let's see if she can break her own record. She'll be very tough to beat.
The previous record was 2:15.24, set back in 2015. Set by Carolyn Rademacher. Once again, that last name may be cut off, so I do apologize if that was not correct. introduction of the swimmers is complete. A final women's 200-yard breaststroke. Once again, we may be on record watch in this event. Off the starting blocks, you can see how long Kinsey Brooks remains under the water. And with that alone, she builds a lead.
It's a good strategy. You're gonna be able to get a lot further underwater doing that than you would with the traditional breaststroke.
Earlier today, so she is your Metro Champs record holder.
Something else I noticed there too at the touchpad, Brooks pushes off with authority from the touchpad. She got quite the bounce.
Leading her to that 28.87 split time. Nobody else under 30. Brooks, 5th in the country in this event, Joe.
Brooks a juggernaut in the breaststroke for sure. 102.27. If she kept that pace, Nick, she would obliterate the record.
Well, you gotta wonder, does she have the incentive here to go beat her own record, and she already has it?
In the final, I think there's plenty of incentive.
If she looks over her shoulder now, though, she'll see nobody's even close to her. Naomi Miller, a little bit behind her. More than a little bit behind her.
Brooks headed back toward the touchpad. 35-49 split, so she is slowed down as expected. We'll see how strongly she can finish. Still on a record pace. Naomi Miller in second by a wide margin. Bridget Zagrabelny in third.
Let's hear it.
Brooks has about 10 seconds.
Got to push it, Joe. It's going to be close, but we'll see what happens here. She might get it. Nope.
1 second over her prelim time. Record-setting prelim. Strong performance in the final. A first-place performance for Kinsey Brooks. Miller second. Zagrabelny third. Powell fourth. Brock fifth. Thompson sixth. Higgins seventh. Watson eighth. And the men have arrived for the 200-yard breaststroke. No break.
Your Metro Champs record set back in 2020. Nolan Monahan from the United States Merchant Marine Academy, 158.73. This will be your C final, Mr. Referee.
C final men's 200 breast coming up.
Here's the competitors here. Lane 1, Tommy Booth. Lane 2, Jack Dragone. Lane 3, Ethan Williams. Lane 4, Caleb Smitana. Lane 5, William Kwan from College of Staten Island. Lane 6, Clayton Jameson. Lane 7, Matthew Detlinger. And in lane 8, Thomas Smith.
A couple of Dolphins in this event representing the College of Staten Island. No other program with more than a single swimmer. Looks like Tommy Booth has the lead in lane 1 as we approach the end of the first 50. Booth indeed reaches the touchpads first by well over a second. About a second and a half ahead of his closest competitor. Booth really setting the pace right now. He's first to the wall by about half a body length. Closest competitor swimming out of lane 7. That's Matthew Detlinger.
The big breaststroker. Number Roberts Wesley and the freshman. Got a body length on the field.
Once again, Booth first to the touchpad. but he did not have the lowest split.
261 earlier.
Ethan Williams, quick split, 33-19. Right behind him was William Kwan, 33-23.
Williams and Booth reached the wall simultaneously. Caleb Smetana also there around the same time. William Kwan in the mix as well. Getlinger still in the mix.
Your top three.
Things have shifted quite a bit now. Entering the final 50.
Kwan barely nudging ahead here for second place. But is anybody going to be able to catch Ethan Williams?
Here comes Ethan
Williams really turned it up during the last 50.
The junior.
Looks like the closest competitor will be William Kwan. Does Kwan have enough? Looks like Williams should hold on, and he will. Ethan Williams first out of lane 3, Kwan second out of lane 5, Getlinger third, lane 7, Dragon fourth in lane 2, Smetana fifth in lane 4, Jamison sixth, lane 6, Booth seventh in lane 1, and Smith eighth out of lane 8.
Will be your B final for the men's 200-yard breaststroke.
Men's 200-yard breaststroke B final coming up. We'll flash those participants on your screen very quickly. There you get a look at them ahead of this B final. And the swimmers take to the pool.
Aiden DG, lane 1, Brandon Dew, lane 2, Dylan White, lane 3, Stephen Wallach, lane 4, Conrad Tan, lane 5, Dominic Kazi, lane 6, Emil Ecote in lane 7, and Gabriel Mixa in lane 8.
I believe they put it in the chat last night. Mixa.
Okay.
I only correct you because they corrected us in the chat last night.
Gabriel Mixa.
No distinguished leader yet. It looks like Tan and Wallach near the front of the pack. Or check that. It was lanes 3 and 4 though. Tan certainly in the mix. First to the wall were White and Wallach, but Conrad Tan very much in the mix in lane 5 now, heading back to the touchpad.
Conrad Tan, 31-78 there on that touch, leading the way on that split.
The only sub-32 split. Swimmers headed back to the wall. As we approach the final 50 with this next touch, we will enter the final 50. And it looks like Conrad Tan may have taken the lead off that last turn. Bob just said it, a very even field. Doe, White, Wallach, Tan, Kazi, all near the front of the pack. I don't think there's more than 2 swimmers who are out of this thing yet. Final 25 yards, and it should be an entertaining final 25. Tan in the lead. It looks like Ehout is close behind. White in the mix, and Ehout takes it. As Bob said, Nick, he eked it out. He threw you the alley-oop pass on that one. Ehout 1, Tan 2, Kazi 3, White 4, Doe 5, Wallach 6th, Mixa 7th, and Deeg 8th.
So really exciting swimming there. It was very close between the top 3.
A final coming up next, and I didn't get you the NCAA cut times for the men's breaststroke, 200-yard breaststroke that is. All Division III programs competing in this A final. The A standard For NCAA Division III in the men's 200-yard breast, 153.9. B standard, 202.30. Those couple of times to keep in mind. Taking a look at some of the seed times, we have several swimmers in this heat who could potentially meet the B standard for NCAA cuts. The chat is looking for a sub 2-minute time here.
I don't know if we're going to get that.
We might. We might. Depends on how hard they went during the prelims.
Well, we got 4 competitors here from TCNJ in this, and 2 from Rowan.
Participants being introduced over public address ahead of this A final in the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Dylan Negron, Spencer Dubois, Sean Kushner, Michael Fracciola, Ryan Vandeveen, Oliver Austin, Jimmy Kundratz, and Patrick Sullivan. Representing TCNJ Montclair State, TCNJ Rowan, TCNJ USMMA Rowan, and TCNJ respectively. 4 participants for TCNJ, a pair for Rowan, 1 for the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, and 1 for Montclair State.
After this, it's on to the 200-yard butterfly.
Introductions almost complete from the Sonny Werblin Rec Center. Once again, this is Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst for the PDF Sports Network. We thank all of you who have chosen to spend your weekend with us here at the 2023 Mets Swimming and Diving Conference Championships. We are about to get underway in another A final. And the swimmers have taken to the pool for the 200-yard breaststroke final. Championship final 2023. Several swimmers reaching the wall within a fraction of a second of one another. No distinct leader yet through the first 50. We were speaking about an evenly matched field in the previous heat. How about this? Look at those split times to get started. A very evenly matched field through the first 50 right here.
Van Dieven, 27:18, was the leader.
Looks like Vandeveen might be the leader here. Vandeveen with a lead of about a stroke or 2 headed toward the touchpad. He comes in at 57:53 through the first 50. Several swimmers under the 1-minute mark.
Michael Fracciola, 31:04 there. Second fastest split.
Metro record 158.73, in case you didn't hear it over PA. Fracciola out of lane 4, trailing Vandeveen in lane 5. Kushner not far behind in lane 2. Final 25 coming up. Vandeveen with a nice-sized lead as he makes his final turn. Race for second being fought in lanes 3 and 4. Don't count out Kundratz in lane 7 either. Dubois in the mix as well in lane 2. Vandeveen just over the 2-minute mark in lane 5. Kushner takes second in lane 3. Fracciola third in lane 4. Dubois fourth. Kundratz fifth. Austin 6th, Negron 7th, Sullivan 8th.
Well, the chat wanted sub 2. They missed it by just a little bit.
They didn't miss by much.
2013, Mr. Referee.
Women's 200-yard butterfly, C final, lane 1. Again, lane 2, Rogers, lane 3, Totaro, lane 4, May, lane 5, Matt Leszewski, lane 6, Shimolensky, lane 7, Antonelli, lane 8, Grant. Gianna Antonelli in lane 7 got a shout out earlier. Promised we'd give those shout outs if you put them in the live chat. So one more for Gianna ahead of this women's 200-yard butterfly C final. She's swimming in lane 7.
The 200 yards butterfly for the women's C final in the water. Number 1, freshman from Montclair, Sydney McGann. Lane number 2, freshman from Montclair State, Madeline Rogers. Lane number 3, sophomore from Salisbury, Olivia Totaro. Lane number 4, senior from Mary Washington, Julia May.
Through the first 50, Julia May comes in sub 30, the only swimmer sub 30 seconds through the first 50. She has the early lead, but close behind in lane 2 is Madeline Rogers. May maintains her lead heading back toward the touchpads. Rogers still not far behind.
Rogers 33.76 there. May, though, 34.41.
Rogers making up some ground during that second 50. She is first to the wall here. Rogers, May, Matt Leszewski right now, 1, 2, 3. Sydney McGann in row, I almost said row 1, in lane 1. Very close fourth. Rogers' lead has grown following that last touch. This appears to be her race to lose at this point.
May a bit behind her. He's going to have to work hard here to try to catch up.
Matt Leszewski closing in on May. Rogers still in the lead. That lead has gotten a bit smaller. Does she have enough of a lead to hold on? She may not.
Matt Leszewski is making a push.
Rogers did indeed hold on by about 0.7 of a second. Julia May takes second by 5/100ths of a second. Matt Leszewski in third. McGann fourth. Antonelli fifth. And the participants disappear.
Will be our B-final women's 200-yard butterfly. Mr. Referee.
Women's 200-yard butterfly, B final. Charleston lane 1, DeFore lane 2, Geyer lane 3, Sadupe lane 4, Tinanenko lane 5, Talma lane 6, Wakefield lane 7, Kim lane 8.
B-final in the water, women's 200 butterfly.
First 25, no distinguished leader. Looks like Christina DeFore may have been first to the wall out of lane 2, but it was by a razor-thin margin if she was indeed first.
Looks like Talma is going to get the touchpad first here. Close with DeFore, though.
DeFore, Talma, separated by about 1/4 of a second. 2 of 3 swimmers who came in sub 30 through the first 50 yards. DeFore and Talma first to the wall. DeFore continues to lead. Talma closing in. out of lane 6. Tinanenko not far behind either in lane 5.
33:07 split time for DeFore, which was the best.
She picked up about a half a second during that last 50, and you can see that reflected right now. Tama will not go away. 75 yards to go. Tama closing in on DeFore, but she still has not overtaken her.
Better split there, though, than DeFore, as Tama was 34.88 and DeFore was 34.98.
Only better by a tenth of a second. With how close they are, that might be enough in the final 50, Nick. We'll see.
They might.
If she gains another tenth of a second, that might do it. And you can see how close they are right now. Tinanenko also in the mix in lane 5. Don't count her out. She may overtake Tama. We'll see. DeFore still in the mix. A three-way race. And taking first is Tama. DeFore second. Tinanenko third. Wakefield fourth. Kim fifth. Charleston sixth. Geyer seventh. Sadupe eighth. A final coming up next. There's a sneak peek at the participants. Following the women's 200-yard butterfly, just one event left in the weekend. Of course, we have 3 men's heats after this. Don't forget about those. But following those 3 men's heats, the 400-yard freestyle relay closes out the weekend here at the 2023 Mets Championship. Participants for the women's 200-yard butterfly A final in lane 1, Jordan DeGrucci of Salisbury. Lane 2, Jamie Bone of TCNJ. Lane 3, Margaret Jones of Mary Washington. Bridget Wilson of Mary Washington. Lane 4, Rose McMullen of Mary Washington. Lane 5, Brianna Shaw of Kane University. Lane 6, Taylor Jacobson, Kane University. Lane 7, Lauren Walls, Rowan University. Lane 8.
University of Mary Washington has 1, 2, and 3 on their minds here, as their 3 swimmers will be in lanes 3, 4, and 5.
The top 2 swimmers for the Eagles were the top 2 by a pretty safe margin, about a second and a half during the prelims. Margaret Jones in lane 3 took third by about 0.6 of a second, barely outlasting Brianna Shaw. After that, the rest of the participants about 2 seconds off the pace. 200-yard butterfly NCAA cut times, 1:56.9 A standard, 2:05.40 B standard. Certainly a chance to meet the B standard in this heat. The best times would need to improve by about a second or 2. A 2-second improvement would be a fairly significant one, but definitely not one you can rule out completely.
Second place in the 2-flight last year, school record holder in this event from Kane, Brianna Shaw.
Introductions have reached lane 7.
Lane number 7.
We are not far from the start of this A final in the women's 200-yard butterfly.
Taylor Jacobson. Swimming in her first championship final in lane number 8 from Rowan, Lauren Walls.
Bob's really enjoying these introductions. He's really letting them all soak in.
As I said last night and the night before that, they do it right here at the Mets Swimming and Diving Conference Championship. Individual introductions for all of the A finalists. 200-yard butterfly A final underway. No clear leader as the swimmers approach the wall. First turn. Looks like a slight advantage belongs to Rose McMullen in lane 5, or perhaps Taylor Jacobson in lane 7. Splits mostly sub 29 during that first 50. Heading back to the wall, Wilson and McMullen joined by Jacobson at the front of the pack. Don't forget about Brianna Shaw either in lane 6. 4, 5, 6, and 7, along with Jamie Bone in lane 2.
32-15 from Brianna Shaw, 32-24 from Bridget Wilson, 32-39 from Rose McMullen.
This is anybody's race right now. Lanes 2, 4, 5, and 6 battling stroke for stroke right here. It is awfully close. It looks like lanes 4, 5, and 6 will be first to the touch pads. Final 50. This is anybody's race, Nick. It can go in any direction right now out of lanes 4, 5, or 6. Looks like Wilson and McMullen reached the wall simultaneously. I think Wilson has a narrow lead out of lane 4. Shaw falling behind in lane 6. Will it be Wilson or McMullen? It is Wilson who takes first, McMullen second, Shaw third, Bone fourth, Jacobson fifth, Jones sixth, DeGrucci seventh, Walls eighth.
Great job by the girls there. Excellent job by Bridget Wilson to get the victory.
Just a bit off the pace of their time during the prelims.
Now we go on to the men's butterfly. And the Metro Champs record definitely will not be touched here tonight. 2002, Ben Michelson, 146.99.
That is some impressive time. None of this year's competitors close to that.
Well, you see his name over and over again in the record books. So probably one of the best swimmers in Metropolitan Collegiate Championships history.
I think that's a fair assessment with a time like that in this 200-yard butterfly. This is the C final. Diedrich lane 1, Gaynor lane 2, Tartaglione lane 3, Pellegrino lane 4, Landon lane 5, Rowe lane 6, McClure lane 7, Alvarez lane 8. Pellegrino first to the wall. It appeared, though, it looks like he was just bested by Tartaglione officially. It looked like Pellegrino got there first.
Tartaglione 25.99 split there.
Sub 26 for the CSI Dolphin.
He's been overtaken now, though, by Pellegrino as they head back to the touchpad.
Pellegrino's lead has grown slightly. And he is indeed into the touchpads first by about 0.3 of a second. He gains 0.4 of a second during that last 50. Pellegrino maintains a steady lead. First to make the turn at the wall. His lead may have grown a bit off of that turn as well. Pellegrino first to the touchpad by a considerable margin. His lead a full second now.
Jared Gaynor making a push now to overtake Tartaglione for second.
Several swimmers vying for second place right now. Lanes 2, 3, 5, 7, all in the mix. Pellegrino running away with first. He will take the top spot. Who will take second is the question. It could be Gaynor. It could be McClure. It could be Landon. And it is Will Landon who takes second. Tartaglione third. We didn't forget about him. Gaynor fourth. McClure fifth. Diedrich sixth. Rose seventh. Alvarez eighth.
All right, now it's on to the next heat. This is going to be our second to last heat here before we think we're taking a break before the freestyle relay, the 400.
I would guess we are going to take a break ahead of the relays to close the night. Now, we've gotten a chance to hear Bob over public address with the relay introduction. I think you and I have to do it. So when the time comes, we have to ask the live chat, are they ready for some relays, as Bob does it. He gave us the blueprint. You and I will do it tonight.
All right, sounds good. But here in this race, Henry Lynch in lane 1, Charles Cusimano lane 2, Rocco Evangelista lane 3, Andrew Kidchob lane 4, Justin Bird lane 5, Larry Almariento in lane 6, John Englert lane 7, and Sean Gitchell in lane 8.
Another name that was in the chat last night, Jay Bird swimming out of lane 5. He goes by Jay of Salisbury, swimming out of lane 5 tonight in the men's 200-yard butterfly B final. With the lead appears to be Larry Almariento in lane 6. Slim lead, Andrew Kidchob right there, Jay Bird right there. That trio at the front of the pack through the first 100. Almariento first to the touchpad, followed by Kidchob and Bird. Those three all sub-29 splits, the only three with a split time of less than 29 seconds. That trio taking their turns together. They are stroke for stroke in lanes 4, 5, and 6. All three sub-30 split times. And that last 50.
Kidchob 29.79. Almariento 29.80. Jay Bird 29.55.
Final 25. Off the turn, it looks like Kidchob and Almariento have the advantage. Almariento may have a narrow lead. It's between him and Kidchob. Who will it be? Going to be a photo finish, and it is Almariento of Mary Washington taking first. Nick, look at that margin of victory. 1/100th of a second separating those two swimmers.
So tight there between those two. Unbelievable race.
Well, Nick, it doesn't get any closer than that without a tie. Wow. A final coming up next.
All right, these competitors, Joe, are going to have one shot, one opportunity right here for a lifetime here to be called the champion in the 200-yard butterfly.
All right, we have a shout-out request.
For Joe Rucci?
No, though I think we're going to have some of those soon as well. Sam, Jerry McKett, and Matthias Altman Kurosaki. Shout out from your friend Andrew Thompson in the stream live chat ahead of this men's 200-yard butterfly A final. Participants being introduced over public address, and they are as follows. In lane 1, representing Rowan University, TJ Madursky. In lane 2, representing Montclair State, Tyler Dorsett. In lane 3, representing Salisbury, Christopher Knorr. In lane 4, representing Rowan University, Joe Rucci. In lane 5, representing Rowan University, Kevin Yanagasawa. In lane 6, representing USMMA, Daniel DiCarlo. In lane 7, representing TCNJ, Conrad Hoodie. And in lane 8, representing the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, Matthew Dunleany.
Some of our favorites here, Joe, swimming their last races. At least as individuals, Conrad Hoodie, he's a senior. Jarucci, he's a senior. Dorsett, he's a graduate student. Yanagisawa, he's also a graduate student.
Don't forget as well, a lot of these A finalists may very well make cuts for the NCAA championships. So they may have one meet remaining, at least. We'll see. Once again, men's 200-yard butterfly NCAA cut times. 145.31, 150.9. Taking a look, we might have a shot for some of these swimmers to meet the B standard. They have to improve by about a second. We haven't seen much of that tonight outside of our first event. Vast improvements over the prelims. This event, our final individual event of this year's Mets Championship. Men's 200-yard butterfly A final about to get started. And we are underway. Swimmers approach the wall for the first time. And it looks like Daniel DiCarlo got there first, swimming out of lane 6. Off the first turn, DiCarlo does have the lead. Representing USMMA, Joe Rucci not far behind in lane 4. He may have overtaken him already. And he sure did. Rucci now in the lead on the first touch.
Rucci 24.50.
Both he and DiCarlo sub 25 seconds, along with Christopher Noor. Second turn, Rucci's lead grows a bit. DiCarlo's still with him, however. They head for the first touch, going stroke for stroke. The chat wants a 150 in this event, Nick. 150 would meet the B standard. Will the chat get what they are looking for?
I don't think so, but we'll see.
We will see indeed. Rucci to the wall first now. He continues to lead over DiCarlo. Yanagisawa not far behind DiCarlo, but Rucci maintains his lead. And look at that Rowan contingent. Gathered around the touchpads.
I don't know about that, Joe. I think there's too many teammates down there right now.
That's actually Salisbury to the left of lane 4, our left. They're not leaving any room for the profs down there. Nonetheless, Joe Rucci of Rowan University is heading back toward the touchpads with a large lead. Can he finish sub 150? He just might. He may do it, Nick. He did. 149.3. DiCarlo second, Yanagisawa third, Noor fourth, Dorsett fifth, Madursky sixth, Dunlaney seventh, and Hoodie eighth.
Heck of a race there by Rucci. Now we're going to have a half-hour break before we got the relays, so...
You said 30 minutes?
30-minute break. We're going to step aside for quite some time here and cool off, and we'll be back in 30 minutes at around 8:10, but that's when the officials will get back. So we're looking at around 8:15, 8:20 when the relays will begin.
All right, 8:15, 8:20 for the 400-yard freestyle relay to wrap up the night. We'll come back in about 30 minutes. Just to be clear, chat, Nick may not have believed. I believed sub 150. I believe.
Well, another race they said sub 2. I said no, and I was right. So 50-50 so far.
Live chat 50, Nick 50. We'll see if we have any more predictions to come later tonight.
Joe, this might be a good time for you to remind people that they could have PDF Sportsnet also covering their events.
So we will give them that reminder. We have a graphic that will come up on the screen.
Or you could be a
break.
sponsor for one of our other great events.
So I'm sure a lot of our viewers have already stepped away from their screens, but for those who are still with us and may be interested in having their event covered, we here at the PDF Sports Network cover events across all sports. And we'll have to scroll way back for that, but you'll see it during the break. Most of the chat, this does not pertain to you, but if anyone wants their swimming and diving meet or any other event covered, we have you covered here at the PDF Sports Network. So you'll get a look at how to reach us during this 30-minute break, and when we come back, the 400-yard freestyle relay wraps up the weekend at the 2023 Metropolitan Conference Swimming and Diving Championships. And we are back from inside the sunny Werblin Recreation Center on the campus of Rutgers University with PDF Sports Network coverage of the 2023 Metropolitan Conference Swimming and Diving Championships. We have one event left on the program. It is the 400-yard freestyle relay, and many have been waiting all weekend long for this event. The building comes to life with this relay, and in under a minute, the women's heat will begin. Lanes 1 through 8 all occupied in this relay. And Nick, you need to put your headset on. We need to ask the chat if we were supposed to do that together, Nick.
I'm monitoring the chat.
Ah, you're in the chat right now. As yourself. You're on the call, Nick. Heat 2 of 3.
As Aiden says, hooray. Susan Hogan, you did miss diving. Diving has concluded. But here we go. It's time for some swimming, and major shout-outs to the Root Dog. Let's go Rucci, a lot of people are saying.
So diving concluded shortly after the swimming meet began. Diving was covered in full on a second stream. So you can go check that out. It is already archived. The stream does take some time to process, so you may not see the stream available in its entirety until tomorrow. So keep that in mind if you're looking for diving. You might be missing some of that stream until it fully processes. Keep that in mind.
I want to give a shout out to my wife who is tuning in, a huge swimming fan, even a bigger fan of me. So thank you for watching.
Early lead for Montclair in this 400 freestyle relay.
Everyone in the stands, for the most part, on their feet for this big 400 free relay. NYMC lane 1, Baruch lane 2, Sarah Lawrence College lane 3, Montclair State University lane 4, College of Staten Island lane 5, Harvard Russell University lane 6, Mount St. Michael College lane 7, and you'll have to help me out here, Joe. WPU is which?
Mount St. Mary lane 7, William Patterson lane 8.
Patterson University.
Here's the key.
All right, better late than never for me to have my key.
Okay.
That was the only one I don't have on my corresponding key here, as we have so many papers up here in the broadcast booth.
Due diligence done here on PDF Sportsnet. We're in the midst of the second leg in this women's 400 free relay. And the first to send their third swimmer into the pool is Montclair State. Followed closely by Sarah Lawrence. Along with Staten Island, Roberts Wesleyan, NYMC. Mount St. Mary, William Patterson.
Looking ahead here for the ladies in the A heat, you got University of Mary Washington lane 5, TCNJ lane 4, United States Richard Marine Academy lane 3. So those three probably battling it out for the overall meet championship for women's.
Montclair State maintains their lead in this B final. As Nick mentioned, the A final coming up next. Montclair running away with this. They lead by a wide margin.
25-43 split, 307-34 so far. Well ahead.
Sarah Lawrence and Staten Island trailing Montclair. Looks like those two squads will battle for second.
Happy birthday. Great swim tonight.
Montclair State will take one, 335-51. Looks like Sarah Lawrence will hold on over Staten Island for second.
51.
And they do. CSI 3. Roberts Wesleyan 4. William Patterson 5. Baruch 6. It's going to be Mount St. Mary 7 and NYMC 8.
All right, it's going to be on to the finish line here in lane 1 for NYMC. Great.
So what we'll do, Nick, you and I will stay quiet here. During the A final, they may introduce some of the swimmers in the pool. So we'll see if they do that.
So I guess first I'll give you the teams real quick. So we got lane 1, Hunter College, lane 2, Rowan, lane 3, United States Merchant Marine Academy, lane 4, the College of New Jersey, lane 5, University of Mary Washington, lane 6, Kane University, lane 7, Salisbury, and in lane 8, none other than RCNJ Rapo, College of New Jersey.
All right, with 8 lanes occupied, I don't know if they're going to introduce every swimmer.
Be a lot of swimmers introduced, Joe.
Yes, but the crowd getting a bit louder here.
If Bob introduces all 32 swimmers, I'll be really impressed.
As would I. You see on your screen the participants. And now the in-house scoreboard as the building begins to shake a bit. They're picking up the intensity level in the stands right now.
The University of Mary Washington. Lane number 6, Kane University. Lane number 7.
So, Nick, it sounded like they were doing the woof woof for Mary Washington there. Have they co-opted that? Have they been doing that all weekend?
For me, they heard me. The big dog. He didn't compete tonight. Maybe he'll be in the real life for the men coming up.
A final women's 400-yard freestyle relay.
I always find it funny, Joe, how the teammates not swimming wave them on as if their pushes are going to help out. It's just giving that good juju, I guess.
I'm not well versed enough in hand signals to know what a lot of those signals mean outside of the pool.
First down.
There has to be a method behind the madness rather than just flailing your
You
arms.
see in your camera, you'll see they're going to start waving them towards the wall. Wave, wave, wave. There you go. You see the waves right now from Rowan University. And now they're going to send it back the other way.
TCNJ with the lead early, swimming out of lane 4, about to wrap up the first 100. Second swimmer gets set to enter the pool. TCNJ sends in their second swimmer, followed closely by USMMA and Kane University. Those are the top 3 right now.
TCNJ, the only one with a split under 28. That's why they got the lead.
Kane wasn't too far behind.
Great split right now coming here from United States Merchant Marine Academy in lane 3. Pretty darn quick, 25-18, fastest on the board.
The Mariners looking to overtake the Lions. We are at the 3/4 mark in the second leg. A swimmer will enter the pool in lane 2 and lane 3 momentarily.
3 and 4, Joe.
Stroke for stroke. Thank you, Nick. You're right. 3 and 4. My mistake.
Heck of a split there from US MMA, 27-88 to give them the lead.
The Mariners with a slight advantage over the Lions now. That advantage remains steady off the turn. US MMA TCNJ. Halfway through the third leg now. 150 yards to go in this 400-yard freestyle relay.
No one's going to catch them. Rowan in lane 2 trying. Kane in lane 6 trying to push ahead, but we'll see if they're able to even get close. Right now, it might just be a 2-team race here.
US MMA TCNJ remain the leaders. Rowan, the next closest squad, into the pool with the 4th and final swimmer. The Lions and the Mariners going stroke for stroke to the wall. It looks like TCNJ gained an edge, and that advantage increases off of the turn. The Lions beginning to separate themselves. Final 50. Rowan on the outside looking in third. This is between TCNJ and US MMA. Final turn for the Lions. Their lead just shy of a body length here. It may have extended to a body length now. And the Lions are going to take the win in the women's 400-yard freestyle relay. US MMA in second. Rowan third. Kane fourth. Mary Washington fifth. Salisbury sixth. Hunter seventh. And Ramapo eighth.
Well, 3:32.69 there for the winners, TCNJ. Tremendous job by them.
Nice job. Our next event demands 400-yard freestyle relay. 2:57.88 is your metro record set by the University of Bridgeport in 2013. This will be heat number 2 of 3.
B final, men's 400-yard freestyle relay. There you see the teams on your screen. Mount St. Mary, NYMC, Baruch, Roberts Wesleyan, William Patterson. Lanes 2 through 6 occupied.
And number 2 of 3 now in the winner. Men's 400-yard freestyle.
First of 2 events left on our program tonight. The final night of the 2023 Mets Championship.
Don't go anywhere after the next heat, though. You're going to want to stick around to see who are the overall tournament winners.
No doubt about it. As Roberts Wesleyan has the lead. About to wrap up the first 75. The Red Hawks still in front. Following that turn, their lead remains steady. Baruch and NYMC, check that. NYMC and Baruch, correct. In lanes 3 and 4. The closest competitors. They each send a swimmer into the pool at the same time, right behind Roberts Wesleyan. The lead only growing for Roberts Wesleyan here. This may become a battle for second. Still plenty of time. Red Hawks maintain a lead of just over a body length. Swimmer number 3 getting set to enter the pool for the Red Hawks. The Bearcats behind them. NYMC, Mount St. Mary neck and neck in lanes 2 and 3. The lead has only grown for Roberts Wesleyan. They show no signs of slowing down.
Baruch, nobody really close to them for second right now.
What was once a battle for second has become a battle for third out of lanes 2 and 3. We'll see if anything changes as the fourth and final swimmer gets set to enter the pool. For Roberts Wesleyan, Baruch will send their fourth swimmer in behind the Red Hawks. The lead for Roberts Wesleyan, about 2 body lengths at least. Not sure the Bearcats can make this up. We will see as NYMC has separated themselves. Mount St. Mary has fallen behind. William Patterson appears to be stroke for stroke now with NYMC, and I may have spoken too soon, Nick. Baruch has closed the gap. Baruch coming back from behind. Do they have enough to finish? They do. The Bearcats overtake the Redhawks in the fourth and final leg of the B final. How about that finish?
Unbelievable performance there by Baruch as they come from behind to secure the victory in this one.
Baruch 1, Roberts Wesleyan 2, NYMC 3, William Patterson 4, Mount St. Mary 5. And with that, we move on to our final event of the weekend.
The noise level's going to pick up in here, Joe. That's for sure.
There's no question about it. Here come the A finalists. Men's 400-yard free relay A final.
Let us know in the chat if you know anybody who is competing in this race, because we have no idea anybody's name in this race.
Also, feel free to share your predictions. This is your last chance for that. Perhaps unsurprisingly, based on what we've seen the last couple of years, TCNJ and Rowan in lanes 4 and 5. The rest of the participants, Montclair State lane 1, Mary Washington lane 2, USMMA lane 3. As I already mentioned, TCNJ and Rowan in lanes 4 and 5, Salisbury lane 6, Staten Island lane 7, Ramapo lane 8.
Well, the seed time, if it tells you anything, it tells you TCNJ should be heavily favored in this. 2:59.99. Rowan second best, 3:05.34. The meet record 2013 by the University of Bridgeport, 2:57.88.
There might be an outside chance of a record. The chat, very active right now. The Profs and the Lions going back and forth.
Oh boy.
In the chat, we wouldn't have it any other way.
The Lions are roaring all over the YouTube chat right now.
We have fans of USMMA as well.
Dolphins fans going wild in here right now.
For the sake of complete transparency, you have 3 of those at this commentary desk. Final event of the weekend.
Make that noise. Everyone's going to make the noise when they jump in very loud. Here you go.
Ooh. Reminiscent of a made 3-pointer. That's usually the sound they make in the gym. Spectators rise to their feet for our final event of the weekend. As this event draws closer to a close, the volume level in here is going to pick up significantly.
Joe, I'm looking to my right. About 100 boxes of Papa John's pizza have just arrived, and I think the winner of the tournament gets the pizza. So a lot of incentive here for these swimmers. I'm sure they're hungry.
What about the broadcasters, Nick? Can't forget them as we draw near to the end of the first leg in this men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
University of Mary Washington is who is getting the pizza delivery. All right, back to the relay though.
Lanes 3, 4, and 5, stroke for stroke.
United States Merchant Marine Academy looking really good right now. Rowan right there as well. Rowan actually ahead. TCNJ keeping pace though.
Rowan appeared to be first to the touch pads, and they were by about 0.3 of a second. Profs will be first to the wall as well.
Rowan, Joe, pulling away here. Let's see how they finish.
Rowan's lead certainly grew during that last 50. Throughout those 50 yards, their advantage became bigger. Can they maintain it? USMMA and TCNJ get to the wall together. They are stroke for stroke in lanes 3 and 4, but Rowan maintains their lead. Rowan leads by about a body length here. It looks like TCNJ and USMMA might be closing in just a bit. The Mariners and the Lions, stroke for stroke, still trailing Rowan. New swimmer enters the pool for each of those 3 teams on top of the leaderboard right now.
Tremendous dive in there from TCNJ and the United States Merchant Marine Academy. TCNJ trying to close here on Rowan.
They are closing in fast. And it looks like they may have made up almost the entire gap. Rowan and TCNJ battling stroke for stroke
swimming
toward
very
the wall.
close to each other there. They almost bumped.
They make the turn at the exact same time. But off of that turn, TCNJ has moved ahead by just a bit, and the Lions take the win. Sub 3 minutes in the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. Rowan 2, USMMA 3, Salisbury takes 4th. Mary Washington 5th, Staten Island 6th, Montclair State 7th, and Ramapo will take 8th.
You see them celebrating on your screen, Joe. They are pumped up, exhausted though as well. Try to pan out, get some of these fans going crazy in here.
That was our final event of the evening. The men's 400-yard freestyle relay brings this 2023 Mets Conference Championship to an end. TCNJ 2:59.59, sub 3 minutes. They take the win in our final event of this year's championship. Half the chat loves it, half the chat hates it.
Well, we'll zoom in here. We're going to see Bob and the statisticians calculating the tallies to see who the overall champion is, but we're going to have a time trial here, Joe.
We are. Mary Washington in the women's 400-yard medley relay. This event will not factor into the score.
We saw them doing a time trial last night, and it was very, very loud in here.
A lot of Eagles with an investment in this one.
Now, Joe, before it starts here, I mentioned the pizza, so for our viewers at home, we'll see if I can get a good look here. I don't think I can. It's too wide here, so no view of the pizza party to our right.
Not going to lie, I want in. I would like in. But we have more work to do. Mary Washington 400-yard medley relay time trial.
Now, what exactly are they doing a time trial for? We're not certain. I don't think we're privy to that information up here.
Not sure. Was it on the program? Is my first
It is.
question.
It's the last event.
Okay.
Yes.
I think we did discuss it before coming on the air.
400 medley relay time trial.
They're going to be in the middle lane here. See if I can zoom in a little so you get a bit of a better view of them.
Eagles, the only team in the pool for this event. They will swim alone in this 400-yard medley relay time trial.
They did this last night after it went off the air as well.
Now, with this time trial, I would presume they're making a push for a record. So keep in mind that the Metro Championship record in this event is 3:43.04. That's the time to keep in mind here.
Wonder how it feels to swim against no competition in the pool.
Well, if they are making a push for a record, which if they're hosting a time trial at the conclusion of the meet, I would presume is the case, then they are certainly competing against time, and that's enough of a motivator in a spot like this. Spectators getting into it. As swimmer number 2 enters the pool.
58.62 from the first swimmer.
I have a feeling this second leg is going to be a quick one as Kinsey Brooks is back in the pool.
The Terminator.
That's what we're going with? If anyone in the chat
terminates
has
the
a nickname.
competition. Joe's heading down to Universal Studios soon in Orlando, so it seems very fitting.
Can't argue with that. We have events to cover in Orlando.
And think about Kinsey Brooks, as she will be back, so there is an hasta la vista at the end of this. She's not a senior.
If we're back next year, we'll likely see her again then. Brooks heading toward the touchpad. Might get in there just over 2 minutes, and she does. 2 minutes, .46 through the first 200 onto the butterfly. Once again, the record time, 3:43.04. And taking a look at the squad that achieved that, 2 individual record holders that we mentioned earlier tonight are on that squad of 4. Clock approaching 3 minutes here. Looks like leg 3 will come to a close in just inside of 3 minutes. 2:57.19. Touch comes in at 3:21.85. Final 50 right here. The record will be safe. Question is by how much? .343.04 was the mark. And the Eagles clock in at 3:49.89. Now, we have 2 different times beneath the record time marked The D2P.
They look pretty happy about it, Joe.
They came in under the D3B time. So what they were going for was an NCAA cut. That's what they were looking to achieve. And they did that. So congratulations to the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington. They come in beneath the time required. I would presume that stands for a Division III Standard B cut, but we'll check those in just a moment, and I will confirm.
Got a nice look at them rallying now.
That's correct. And in the medley relay, there is only a B cut. There is not an A cut. So the University of Mary Washington, with that time, has qualified for the NCAA championship.
The first award, I'm going to bring down a group of nominees for the Dick Krempecki Award for the Outstanding Senior Award.
So Nick and I are going to step off headset for just a few minutes and allow Bob to introduce the award winners. So you'll hear from us again once the championship celebration commences. We'll sign off, but for now we turn it over to Bob on public address.
Or your nominees, please come out to the bulkhead. Emily Murphy from William Patterson. Sarah Decker from Hunter College. Katie Klosevich from the University of Mary Washington. Jamie Bowd, the College of New Jersey. And Jordan McChesney from Rhodes. We'll wait till they get up there. These are your nominees for the Dick Krempecki Award. Once again, this is the Outstanding Senior Award for the conference. Give them a big round of applause. They were nominated by their schools. The 2023 Dick Krempecki Outstanding Senior Award for the winner from Hunter College, Sarah Decker. Bravo, Sarah. Congratulations. Congratulations, ladies. Now for the men. The Dick Krempecki nomination. There were 3. From the University of Mary Washington, Brendan Huber Wilker. Come on down, Brendan. These gentlemen all have a great story. Resilience is the word that I think of when I think about these guys. From Rowan, Rocco, Evangelista. Come on down, Rocco. Come on down, Rocco, and step up. And from the College of New Jersey, Sean Ray. Is Rocco coming down? Salisbury? Come on, Rocco. Once again, resilience, reliability, being respectful, and they have remained relevant throughout their careers. Again, I think of those things like scholarship, athleticism, community, family, and team. And the 2023 Dick Krempecki Award winner goes to this senior from the College of New Jersey, Sean Ray. Congratulations to all of our nominees. These guys will be great. Give them a hug when they come back. Tremendous. And now let's go to our Climbers of the Meet. Climbers of the Meet. The Joe Stetz Award. On the women's side, from the College of New Jersey, Gabriella Valdez. And on the men's side, from the College of New Jersey, Ethan Weiss. Congratulations to Gabriella and Ethan. Great divers down there in the 1 meter and the 3 meter. Keep it there. Field 4. Nice work. Rookies of the Meet. Rookies of the Meet. On the women's side, from rowing, Ella Pennington. A big round of applause for Ella Pennington. Three-time swims this week for the Rookie of the Meet. From rowing. And on the men's side, who is a three-time winner. From the College of New Jersey, Rookie of the Meet, Kevin Foreman. Great job, Gavin. Great job, Ella. Swimmers of the Meet. On the women's side, from the University of Mary Washington, Kinsey Brooks. One more big round of applause for Kinsey Brooks from the University of Mary Washington, swimmer of the Meet on the women's side. And on the men's side, from the College of New Jersey, James Winchester. For our swimmers of the Meet, Kinsey Brooks, James McChesney. Great job. All right, next up, diving coaches of the year. This one's combined. On the women's side and the men's side, the coach of the year from the College of New Jersey, Good job, Coach Blevins, College of New Jersey, and women diving coach of the year. The Anthony Lisa Swim Coaches of the Year. We know the Anthony Lisa also was a swim coach here for many years and growing. On the women's side, from the University of Mary Washington, Justin Anderson. The Eagles. Congratulations, Justin, and his coaches. And on the men's side, from the College of New Jersey, Dave Brown. Congratulations to our coaches of the year, Justin Anderson, Dave Brown. And now, we'll go right over to our team awards. Your top 3 teams on the women's side combined swimming and diving, finishing in 3rd place with a score of 921.5 points. On the women's side, the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Congratulations, ladies. In 2nd place, with a total score of 942 points, Rowan University. Congratulations to Rowan on his 2nd place finish this year. And your 2023 Metropolitan Collegiate Conference Women's Champions with a score of 1,221 points, the Eagles from the University of Washington. Now moving over to the men's side, finishing in 3rd place with a team score of 1,203.5 points, Rowan University. Congratulations to all. Finishing in 2nd place with a team score of 1,476 points, the United States Merchant Marine Academy. And your 2023 Metropolitan Collegiate Conference Men's Team Champions with a total score of 1,696 points, the College of New Jersey. That will conclude this year's 2023 Met Jets.
Joe Foreman and Nick Durst back with you from the Sonny Werblin Recreation Center, the University of Mary Washington for the women, and the College of New Jersey for the men, your 2023 Metropolitan Collegiate Conference swimming and diving champions. We thank everyone who was tuned in all weekend long and joined us on the PDF Sports Network for coverage of this year's Mets Championship. Nick, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Well, you got to kick off your Sunday shoes, and that's what everyone has done. We got shoes floating all over the place. Congratulations to these two teams, and congratulations to all the competitors here who, through all those hours and months and weeks of hard work and dedication, got some well-deserved recognition here this weekend at the Mets.
It was a packed weekend here at the Metropolitan Conference Swimming and Diving Championships. We were proud to be a part of it. Perhaps we'll see you again next year. For Nick and I, this is our second season covering the event. We hope you enjoyed our coverage now on the PDF Sports Network. Of course, last year we covered this event on the ECC network. The ECC, of course, the conference that the College of Staten Island is a part of. But if we don't see you next year and you want your event covered, or you want to check out our catalog of events, you can visit us right back here on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@PDFSportsNet, or you can visit our website at pdfsportsnet.com. You saw our contact info earlier in the stream. If you'd like your event covered or would like to advertise with us, we thank the Metropolitan Swimming and Diving Conference for inviting us in once again to cover this year's event. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Thank you again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon.